position before I'm ready to put him in that top 5 conversation. I think guys like Monesi, guys like Zaibo obviously clear him by a large margin, but even when it comes to, you know, players like Torji and so on, when they're on point, I think they can be more.
Do you have Torji ahead of Shiro?
I think when he's on his A game, he finds more impact. I think Shiro is the best at clutching, probably. You know, he's up there with Zaibu, for example, in terms of clutching. What he does on an extremely high level, but he is not as versatile as some of these other guys. And in my eyes, you have to be, as I said, just for the sake of putting it on tape so that your opponents have to account for it, you know? Like, you can't be completely harmless at some points in the round, and I think he's been starting to do that, and I think it will mean a lot for Team Spirit moving forward.
I got Shiro in my top 5. Yeah, I got Shiro in my top 5 for sure. The consistency is just ridiculous. I mean, when he's presented an opportunity, even on the edge of a smoke like we saw kind of in the last round, and when he was picking Device down mid, he's just clearing the difference between him and somebody like Device, who has been a pretty stable piece of this Astralis lineup. It's night and day.
Do you want to take a look at how everything went wrong for Astralis, guys?
I think it's a sequence of rounds we were touching upon.
Horrifying.
Right? Yeah, it was kind of horrifying for them. Sequence of rounds, probably the mid plays coming in here, Yanko.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it. It's all these crucial rounds. This kill from Zontix was huge. And also sometimes the setup, like, you know, they have a really bad buy. You're playing close tunnels against a lot of Tech 9s. Here, Donk was even on low HP. Just, you know, the mechanics and the ability to find frags. Here they're trying to play together mid, but again, Donk gets the trades, gets a double kill, the site is open, and it was just happening time and time again where Astralis didn't have an answer for it.
I just feel like if you look at the scoreline, you're looking at, yeah, sure, Donk didn't necessarily drop like 25 kills or whatnot, right? But if you just look at that game, he's just getting all these openings time and time again, and most of the times without any real help from his team as well. I think round 8, I believe, round 8 or 9, I think it's a good example to showcase how fast Spirit were actually playing here. It is going to be a buy coming in from Astralis round 8, actually. It's going to be Donk swinging out, catching a player off guard there, and then Zontix immediately rushes into his tunnels, expecting the push coming in from the CTs. And what's the reaction from Spirit to this? Fast push up towards Cat. It's going to be a dry swing coming out here. They have a setup with Hooksy and Device. This close peek from Donk, shot missed, quick trades, Device all by his lonesome. They cut off the rotation. It's just fast on-the-fly call from Chopper, and everyone on the same page. And I feel this run kind of illustrates what that T-side was from Spirit.
I love the opening kill in this one the most because Spirit were trying to throw the top of the mid-doors smoke. It actually missed, and Donk just disrespected his own team's smoke. He just pushed right through it to find the incision. I think that's when you're up 6-1, though. You afford yourself those kinds of liberties. You just see a missed piece of utility, and you're like, we're killing these guys. So the unbridled confidence from Spirit was impossible for Astralis to contain by the end of that half.
You saw a couple of rounds later on as well where Astralis lose a player towards long, and the 2 players from CT start rotating and just running, not worried about the fact there might be someone in short, and Dong he's probably thinking to himself, guys, I'm right here, like 2 free kills right there. So I feel like Astralis at the end, they were scrambling for solutions, Rich, but none could be found.
It's probably the worst I've seen them apart from that loss to Odic way back at the start of the tournament when they got 13-2'd on Ancient. And it's weird because even in more stressful situations, they've had that, you know, big smiles on the faces, the vibes are clearly there. It's almost as if they're, you know, they're beginning to believe, and it's creating this bizarre pressure.
I mean, if you look back the last Dust 2 they played, I think it was Hooksy dropping the 30 bomb or something like that to get the win over VP. So it wasn't really a map they were super comfortable on in any case.
I don't think the map matters, as I said. I think that what happens in this game, you know, what happens when you come to this sort of a situation when you're Astralis is you're going up against Spirits, who's the best team in the tournament, one of the best teams in the world. You already played them. They owned you. Yeah, you showed that the game could have been closer, but they would have probably still won in the end. So now when things start going south, it's starting to creep in the back of your head. Yeah, like, we cannot beat these guys at this time, right? And sure, you're doing your best, you're trying, but the belief just isn't there like it is in some of the other series. And there's that feeling of you've exceeded expectations, even your own, even in your wildest dreams. You've done enough, right? And when Spirit is so much on point, like, it's just a night and day difference between the 2 teams.
Well, we can take a look at Nuke. Obviously, this is where we get an idea of whether Astralis are really in this final or not. It's their map pick. I think they've looked excellent on it with not a lot of time to prepare. It's probably one that Hooksie's going to, improve upon and pick more often moving forward.
I won't lie, I was looking forward to a train pick coming from Astralis in all honesty, a little bit of a curveball, a map. They looked really good yesterday, and where we saw some of the struggles for the Spirit side. But the fact that they went with this nuke pick, I'm expecting some few switches up over here. Because for the side of Spirit, Maui, you pointed it out as well once upon like couple of days ago. It's a map they're happy to go to when it comes to a solid opponent.
It's a map that oftentimes
just
Spirit
can't believe we're
first
seeing
picks
Astralis in
if
the
they're playing
final.
against an opponent that's out of the top 5 in the world. So for them to get this is a gift on a silver platter. I mean, this is a Spirit defense that wins even against some of the best teams in the world. It really takes some incredible tactics to try to unseat Donk from outside, and I want to see if Hooksy just pins it, focuses on what he thinks is a weak point on this map, because I don't think he's going to get the better of Donk today with a very half-baked strat book, but I want to see if he can actually put people like Magix in the blender, or even try to take down Zontix towards ramp.
Minor detail as well. I don't know if you noticed it on the stage, but Spirit went out to get fresh air or whatever they were doing in their designated 15-minute break. Astralis stayed.
They're just learning smokes again like they were yesterday.
Which is what he said in the interview. So, he might be trying to pull out some last-minute adjustments or something. I mean,
if he's going to
really try to maximize time.
If he's going to call a mulligan right now and say, we're going to throw out the strat book, we need some more stuff, then the preparation yesterday was already insufficient to beat Spirit.
Chronos. Hope I said that shit right.
I think for them it's just going to be an
Do the other
uphill
boys
battle.
still stream anymore? Haven't seen them streaming in a few years.
Have played well on
not
map
really.
one, they've all
Nobody.
had their moments. They're locked in.
I don't really
so
think
no one that this
many of
guy's
my
struggling.
boys
Let's try
stream
to maybe
still,
target him a little bit more. It
but,
just has to be maybe. It was the nerves of the grand final.
But they still do stuff
I'm
on
sure
YouTube.
Astralis are better than what
Like,
we saw
Pole's
on us too. And
been uploading to YouTube
you saw
recently.
how once they won the second round, you're thinking, okay, they can
He's been
get
putting out
rolling.
Halo
All of a sudden,
videos,
first buy
put
round,
out some
Spirit
Final
won't have
Fantasy
an op.
videos, he
You
put
can
out
be
some-
4-1, 5-1 up, and then
he put out
becomes a
some
little bit of a different
Counter-Strike.
game. They cannot come back and win a map. They have to play from ahead from the start.
I agree. I feel like the Astralis CD side, what we've seen from them on Nuke has been stellar thus far, right? Again, we have to have the caveat with the opposition they've had.
So yeah, I'd say
outside, for example, he's been looking great. Just
odd
the way the
streams.
parts move,
I mean, not even really odd
reminiscent
streams.
For me, again, of the old Cadian, heroic lineup.
Kind of none of my boys really stream anymore, to be honest.
Short time frame.
Not really their
thing.
thing.
Said, you need a bit of a buffer on the T side. You need. I think I'd be only comfortable if they're able to get at the minimum 5 T rounds, which is looking unlikely, Maui. I won't lie.
I mean, the real question, Maui, is, is there even a map Astralis should be able to beat Spirit on?
The
all
only
things considered.
The only map is something that Blair alluded to already, is that the one map Spirit has dropped in this entire tournament was Train versus Furia. I would have said, if I'm Astralis, let's just look at the blueprint of what Fallen cooked up for that one and try to emulate that and not let it go so late in the series. So, no, I don't think that there's any chance Astralis get anything done on this map. If they get 7 rounds on this, I'm excited for Astralis' future.
What Fallen hooked up was Yakinder and Yuri finding entries and K Serato clutching. So the Astralis guys need to step up, right? Like put up a fight.
I've seen more
see
people
what you
going back to
can do.
H5 lately. Vito
It's
was
an
on it
uphill
today.
struggle, no matter what, but
Just having more
you're
variety of
gonna try and
streamers to
compete
watch
till
from
the end.
versus Halo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But again, I'm still surprised they didn't go for Train, considering they
Yeah,
looked
I'm
so
not
good
really
in the
sure
CT
why-
side
They
yesterday.
can't go for Train. They were learning smokes before the map started.
I mean,
they're not
They're
gonna,
learning
they cannot
smokes on
pick it.
Nuke right now as well.
And the only Train that
I mean, I can guess why people don't stream the game as much. Is because people just don't necessarily enjoy it as much as they used to. But,
Freakishly poor game as well in
yeah, I don't know.
Probably Ancient would have been another one, right? But they're clearly
That's
unhappy
why,
with it because they
I
haven't
mean,
picked it, they're going into Nuke. So, yeah, there was no easy
I just hope we
choice
get
for
something
Astralis. There's
exciting
a lot
in the way
bad
of, like,
choices, and,
news
we'll see
here
if they can
soon.
somehow, steal at least
Because,
one map in this,
yeah, it would be nice to see. Is that Oni in the back over there?
Yanko, and now that means we go over to our commentators, Harry and Hugo.
But,
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's Nuke as our
I was just going to
second
say, we
map
need
here.
something to
It's the
drive
Astralis
interest
pick.
back
We've
into
had some good
Halo, like,
wins on
whether
throughout the
that's
group.
another mainline Halo game or whether it's the CE remake that's supposed to be coming out.
But with how this series has started, with the form that Spirit have showed,
I just
up
hope we
here,
have something that can
and the
drive
level of
interest back up for
dominance
Halo.
on
I'd like to
Dusty
see a
that
wave
it
of people
will
hopping
be a
back on the
tall
game,
task
streaming the
for
game and shit like that.
to rise up and
Because, I mean, yeah, I
come
guess
back.
as of right now, there's just not a lot of incentive for people to stream the game. Not a lot of people really rock with Infinite. Everything else has kind of been looking slow.
And whether they can run over this BO5 in 3.
I get it. Halo 1 Remake will be released before the next Melee Halo game, and I hope it does well. Yeah, I mean, definitely me too. Obviously, like, I don't know, I'm not as excited for a Halo 1 remaster as I would be for like another mainline Halo title, but I'm certainly still excited for it. I mean, anything Halo.
Like, you won't be ready for Donk in this position, and not being ready for Donk is
a good trade.
Indeed, but that's a keen turnaround from Device.
Where's my? There it is.
Did have a double lower setup. They're starting to dismantle it now. Look at Zontix just running all the way up through Secret, here to try and help out, keep them pinned in down at the lockers. Device searching, but it's stair creeping.
They know
up.
Shiro's there.
The
They're not letting him get away.
Astralis are finding their way back into this pistol. Chopper's missed the timing on a player moving out.
I mean, obviously, like,
door.
obviously it's like all of our
Magic's
things that we like make content on and whatever else, but like I just fucking love Halo, bro. I've played Halo my whole life. Halo's always been my favorite game.
This is worth a hell of a lot. Yabi gets the warning. Magic's dead. Chopper drops in at the back of the site, and he's starting to get overran. They're in the heavens. They're ready to play out through the door.
That's my thing too, is that a lot of people are like not
Spirit's
excited
captain.
About this potential Halo 1 remake.
Just from Jabby's position, Chopper just trying to fight for the site, falls immediately. And that will be Astralis.
Like, especially like competitive people.
Round in this second map. Despite a seemingly strong start from Spirit, Astralis flipping on its head.
I like all aspects of Halo. I've always been a big campaign guy as well.
3 on 5. And nothing to do for Zontix but die.
And look, for Astralis, that's huge. There's a lot to be happy about in this pistol round. Like you said, you weren't just at a man deficit. You weren't just at a 3v5.
Yeah,
but
whatever we get, I just hope it's good.
Twice over from Team Spirit and still managed to get out with it.
Yo, what the fuck? That shit sounds crazy, bro.
On the T side, you get to set the pace
100,000 games and 85 different emulators.
And so
that
it was more
insane.
composed, far cleaner.
Sounds fire though.
And it lets them get off to a good start.
Oh, love this energy.
Look at Hooksy, man.
He knows this is where Astralis can turn around this final.
Yeah, you've got to stick the landing, though, on this force buy. These are said to be the most difficult rounds to win in Counter-Strike, and that's only
yeah, or if you want, Kronos, throw a link in like the general chat in my Discord or something like that.
4 outside.
So that I don't lose
Magic's alone on A. As everyone looks to fight together after the fade of these smokes. Astralis aren't looking to cross with them either. They're being very cautious. This could lead them right into the trap. Lots of Molotovs to push Spirit out, but they're still all here. They have the numbers. Donk goes 1 for 1.
Trade.
Damage done. Zontix firing from afar. And these 5-7s haven't even sprung the trap
really
yet.
Good damage
Astralis,
for Spirit, though.
Are they ready?
This timing. Chopper gets in close. Zontix done a good job of kind of selling that it was him and Donk out in the yard, never aware of the 2 other players back in garage. Astralis find their way down through Secret, leaving Yabi to the extremities back in lobby.
1 kill from Zontix in this position primes the round for Spirit.
And he will have 1v1s to find. Astralis splitting up this 2-man push down into lower, windows broken.
Now they know.
Device coming out through the single door. Zontix gets away with a lot of damage.
A big trade, wow.
Once more. That bomb's going to try and fly up.
Oh, what the
fuck? Magic's falls. Astralis once again from the back foot.
It's a great call to rotate.
Grind around out here. Chopper is wounded. Shiro is far away. And Spirit like these saves.
You will have heard the weapon pickup,
they're not
though,
going
right?
for this. And so Astralis will find their way back into this round. An awkward engagement on the ladder.
Ooh, timing.
And it tees them up to come back through, find this conversion, get off to a good start on Nuke.
Yeah, pretty successful round for Spirit as far as the loss goes, but at least Astralis keeps somewhat.
Word, good looks, Kronos. I'll give that shit a look after stream.
In this T side. You'll take every round you can get at this point.
That's actually really cool. Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
This was the feat you couldn't accomplish back on Dust. This is what got them off to such a horrible start, right? They win with their force in the second round, but then there's an instant reply out of Team Spirit, and I think if it happened again, you would have been taken straight back there. There is still something in this round for the Spirit squad, though, and it's a big thing, right? Donk given that AK. Fast ramp hit, but two players here. Don't underestimate this Chopper 5-7. AK and Donk gonna get on in time. Moves in to help his captain out over at ramp, and he stays mobile on the AK. He knows with that smoke going down, Astralis are blocked.
Yeah, let Donk roam in this kind of round. Spirit just make sure they can't lose to position by taking that A bomb site, getting into nice spots. And Astralis stall it out. They have two smokes, and they're really bleeding this round dry to see if Spirit bring anything to it. Donk feels like he's cleared outside, so he drops down Secret. But Astralis only now just re-entering the lobby. Stown coming in, could get caught as Yabby's missed his timing on the door, but good peek together. They find Magics. Chopper might get locked out of this A site as Astralis regroup back on the ramp where this all began. Donk's been B this entire time. So safe to say, in a position to win the round, but Astralis don't want to end lower.
I think they're going back to A.
For Device and Bomb in the lobby.
Getting Device up into heaven is a very, very potent position for Astralis. He'll have that bomb to play around when it's eventually planted. Still don't know about Chopper, who's been waiting in main this entire time. Donk is also ready to fly up the vent. No one facing him early, so Donk will get a bit of room. CT player deleted.
Uh-oh.
Donk starting to move in, and Device will quell him. That's the advantage of getting Device in that spot. That's why Astralis lent him so much time.
Oh, it's a scary repeat for Device, though, making the call to push through the Molotov and take the fight. But judged by its result, Astralis 3-0
Are they chanting Astralis?
Converting despite some very claustrophobic anti-eco. Spirit now have everything to play with and everything to play for. AWP,
what fucking year is it, bro?
Astralis on the jumping block.
A good start for Astralis.
Do they want to keep playing with this pace? Looking like an A-rush.
Oh yeah, this is one hell of a pace change. Look at how unprepared
Oh my god.
Chopper's anti-flash, nothing even lands.
That's Hooksy getting a call
Hooksy might be the GOAT, bro.
Here. And after a bunch of these grueling slow rounds
Hooksy might be the greatest of all
to try
time.
and stabilize for Astralis, they hit Spirit.
Wait,
with
and look at this fucking
fast A hit. Donk, even tenuous out in the yard, will get the better of Hooksy, but wants to prioritize saving this gun. Astralis 4-0.
It was a great playing from Hooksy until he was fucking sprinting through that shit.
The call, you know, Donk's probably not going to start on upper as well, so just going for a fast upper play. Avoids the AWP, avoids Donk. Those are the two big pieces for this Spirit defense. And Astralis catch Spirit completely by surprise. Chopper's just caught looking nowhere.
Now they know where Donk is. They're going to try to kill him.
Oh, can they get this gun? Oh, almost the lineup for Donk, but Astralis denied the AK save, and that matters more than most.
What the fuck was that fucking shit?
Astralis have come to play in this grand final. It just took a whole map.
Also, he's down a Yabby right there. What are we doing? What is this? Are we touching tips on main stage?
Even as they were getting swamped on Dust, there was
nice
still
plays
kind of
indeed.
muted smiles for Astralis, and now you're seeing why. Coming in a nuke with a good game plan, variety of paces. The thing that's been real nice about these slower rounds, right? Think about Dust 2. It felt like it went by so quickly, and you were at the full mercy of Spirit throughout. You never kind of got to feel like you had any read on the game. They were getting shot in the back. While here in these slow rounds, and one of the things they've been crediting Hooksy for and Astralis is how the plays are very well drilled. Everyone knows exactly what they're doing, what their responsibilities are, where they're supposed to cover, and that's something that's afforded to you in these slow, mid-round type calls that Hooksy's been giving. Here's a lobby crunch.
There we
Let's
go,
see how
sorry.
Astralis stack up.
I always forget to move
when
my
Spirit
webcam.
are the ones bringing the
My
pace.
fault, my fault.
Escape. Astralis just bail from that position, jumping around the corner. They hear it coming, and they don't want to take it head on. Containing Spirit instead in a round with just one rifle. Astralis go outside, let this AWP work.
Show me some device. Show me something with the Prince stream.
No smoke, but Device looks for Donk and almost takes him out. Donk's going to reflash his team, but Spirit are not in a hurry to get these fights
they're
on.
going to let him cross.
They hear Astralis in the
Wait.
garage. They know the intent. Shiro goes searching.
They're not going to secret.
Again, still unknown about the element of surprise. Very powerful here for Shiro. He's dodged everything.
Oh my
Catches Stair
God.
blindsided. Maybe boxed in, but he knows it. He heard downscale forward.
Oh,
my shot misses
Device.
a problem.
Oh dear.
5-7 so lethal up close.
The way
Okay.
Shiro was able to kind of thread the needle on that play, it's wasted so much time for Astralis, right? They were
Device
bogged
grabs
down
the
trying to
K.
deal with Shiro in the back line. That leaves them with
15 seconds.
to
They have
actually
to
make
break
a
out
play.
onto the
How do
site.
they win
And they're
this?
going into lower. Donk here with the hero gun.
Yeah,
Now
GG.
line up for
Yeah.
him. And
It
that's
just
what
took
you've been trying to
forever.
avoid if you're Astralis. But
I don't
the
know why
clock
the screen just
left
went black
you
for that.
No choice.
And
He's
it-
just so mobile, Donk, right? Gets down
It's
hell.
also-
That's his first kill to make it a 4v3. Then instant
It's taking me
drops
out of
ramp,
full screen for
and
this
he's ready
stupid
to
ass
stop the B plant.
ad shit.
Astralis gets stalled out. It's all off the back of the lobby
Brother.
push that makes Astralis freeze up. No time to win that round. 40 seconds when the first kill comes in.
Glitch is fucking trash, bro. Who runs this fucking site?
Frustration. But those rounds
Like,
are
dead
bound
ass
to
fucking
happen
trash.
in a match like this.
Yeah, it feels a little frustrating because it's the first time that that pace that you've set has been used against you. And you don't want that to kind of start creeping up now for what was looking like their biggest strength to already become a weakness for Astralis. Double wall out in the yard. No chance to blow these smokes open. Just firing blind. There's not a lot of damage done. Zontix, though, dropped down right at the start of this round, and he's ready to contain. Stops the spill through Secret. Now just jiggling on this tight line. Stalls out the lower play.
Got to watch out for these Yabby lurks, right? That's something Spirit are looking cognizant of right now. As Astralis takes Secret, you can still expect a guy in the lobby. What a nade.
Beautiful nade.
High damage, and Zontix knows it. Astralis speed up. They've been spotted.
You've been hearing that little bit of crowd swell. If you're Zontix, you know that was a high damage HE. It's the only thing to gauge the reaction. Shiro here to help him, and this is a powerful crossfire to try and get past.
Good nade.
Shiro lights them up. There's the support from Zontix.
What a beautiful
And
hold.
this lower hold, infallible. Astralis bogged down in lower, trapped in these crossfires. Yabby left to the extremities.
Feel like we're going to see a lot of this for Yabby, where he's holding rotation and he's not going to find anything. Spirit don't need to rotate. They found every kill on that lower site. All dropped in from ramp or Secret earlier. And so nothing to do but wait it out for Yabby. Might have to see some more active lurking on this T side. Rock strong defense in that B side for Spirit. Zontix having a solid series so far as well. Hasn't let anything really get by him.
I think Yabby is in an unenviable position trying to be the guy lurking in lobby in these rounds. Right, because any corner could harbor the Shiro AWP. Donk's been super mobile.
What's up, Wayne Doodle? What's up,
You
Ease?
never know where he's going to appear. Zontix has been fantastic in this final.
am I doing on
both
this time
maps,
of day?
Shoring up the
It's
extremities.
Championship Sunday.
And so, you know, where do you even look to make your play if you're Yabby, especially as your teammates
They keep having
are
all
really
these events in
gaining
goddamn
ground,
Romania and
getting a lot of
Kazakhstan
info
and
from
shit.
their pushes. He feels like
Time
he's
zones,
flying
man.
blind.
It's just an A pop.
Oh, you better win, Ease.
One for the molly, one for heaven. Astralis about to explode. That actually lands in front of the hut. Are they just going for the plant? Is that a goal in this round? Bomb is here.
What the fucking smoke wall?
Crazy call for Astralis.
What the fake?
The bomb out of there.
What is this?
Ramp bound. Everyone
what is this?
That's some out of the box thinking from Hooksy. And it might have given them a chance here. Chopper dead.
Is Hooksy the greatest of all time?
Donk seeing your little tricks.
No, Donk's gonna clutch the round.
How cute does he find it? He's dead immediately. Stair picks him up, and once more Astralis gonna enter a bit of a freestyle here in the 2v2. A cool idea to get them to this point in the round. Something Spirit haven't seen before.
What the fuck?
But will a little gimmick be
what is this
enough
round?
for Astralis? Shiro dead down at lower. The Danes
here comes the actual
think
plan.
So. Matrix moves in. It was his clutch right at the start of this series that put Spirit off to their winning ways. Left in a face-off versus Stair, and he's boxed in. That is a sick call from Hooksy. He smiles all round. He can't believe that that's just worked as well as it has.
I can't believe he gets out with the bomb. That was a heavy setup for Spirit. Holy so many
shit.
Players top site.
What a fucking
call. A
call.
lot of util, a lot of spam forced out. Most importantly, Spirit
Hooksy might be the greatest of all time, dude. What the fuck is this?
And Hooksy gets in, gets out like
dude.
A and they just drop into that B-bomb site. Very cheeky eco strat for Astralis. And they're just having fun.
Crowd chanting Hooksy.
It's a perfect pocket strat. When you really want to try
Brother's
and geek
a
a round out at a turning point in this game, that's when it was supposed to appear. And they stick the landing. Still, with how the game started, this buy for Astralis certainly has its limitations. You've got Device running a Tech 9. Limited util as well with these outside smokes going in. That is the bulk of the util burned for Astralis. Double smoke wall once again. And as has often been the case with this wall, there's already a man down at lower. It's Shiro on the line with his AWP. First to face his Device.
God, I want a red line so bad.
Shiro, this is a very aggro angle, but he lives to tell the tale. This is a guy trying to reinvent himself. Stays aggressive, keeps the pressure on, and now
probably did enough
in
though.
The back line. Stown is boxed in, finished off. And only Yami remains late on a ramp lurk into a lost B site. Doesn't know where to look. Zontic's already down here, and he will get the better of him. Spirit with an immediate reply. Shiro Zorp continuing to look great across this final.
So audacious. Back in the open. Not even a safe angle. And Spirit just comes swarming in as well. Suffocating Astralis in yet another clean gun round, 4 up.
Damn.
And Hallie with a lot to say.
But nah, what the fuck are y'all doing at this time of day? Wang Doodle, Ease. Fucking shit. Well, so much for all the money Astralis just made.
Astralis
there it goes.
Forcing with scouts and pistols.
Lost the game. What was the score?
May have been a strong start to this map with a cool pocket strat on an eco round. But now we have to see the depth of this T side.
Dude, Twitch with this fucking ad shit, bro.
All right.
Bro, Twitch is on some absolute fuck shit, bro. Twitch is goddamn garbage.
Haven't had to say his name all too
like,
much yet.
fucking garbage. I cannot even. It will not let me full screen. It knocks me out of full screen to show my fucking double screen picture-in-picture ads.
Oh my God, Donk.
And then you literally can't get it back.
Donk is not the man to mess with. Mr. Multi-kill lines him up, knocks him down. Danes fall like dominoes in the yard. And that's, you know, with these slow burning rounds, that's what you've been trying to avoid. You can never discount the multi-kill potential of this guy.
3 out of 4 headshots on the spray. That's one way to shut Astralis' economy right down.
Well, 13-11, my teammate lagged out last round and someone swung me outside and I suicided from silent coming. You broke your legs to end the game.
Speed and momentum on this CT.
Oh, that's tragic. That's tragic.
Might have been a convincing start for Astralis, but they're hitting their limits of the money
Nice
now,
try,
brought
brother.
down to just these pistols. Spirit
Nice
chomping
try.
at the bit to tie the game up.
4 out of the last 5. This one is a guarantee. Astralis just trying to buy some time. Waste some util. Little details that may matter later. Pop through the ramp smoke. Oh, it's a bit spread though, a bit thin. Zontix and Shiro able to hold it down. Careful, Deagle out of ammo.
No scope, please.
Shiro ends it. 3 kills on the hold. Astralis' eco and not too
Shiro the goat.
interesting. Spirit are well and truly back in this game.
You know, this probability or win probability graphs they do in baseball, yeah. Bro, I wonder what it looked like. Bro, there was a round like 3 rounds ago, Ease, where
and everyone on Spirit, you know, gets kind of different degrees of
Hooksy's on
freedom.
some shit, I swear to God.
Getting the most of it. Shiro
they fucking
more and more as
they
time's gone on
smoke
in this
walled
Spirit
A
squad. Zontix
to
is very
fake like
much
it was because it was an eco, and they smoke walled A like it was a desperation. They were just gonna go for the plant money.
He's responsible for
fake
these
the
ramp
plant,
holds,
and then
these
they
lower
immediately
drops.
slam ramp.
And with him looking this good and shoring up that half
Like,
of the map, it's a
dude,
big
I gotta
problem
see the
for
chart for that
Astralis.
fucking round.
They try their hand at this fast top site hit. Backstab already in for Zontix.
Because it was a for sure win for Spirit, and then it was a for sure win for Astralis, and then it's a 2v2, and then it's a 1v1.
Here. Bomb even down and out in no man's land. Hooksy goes and gets it. Chase into the lobby. They want to try and
that shit's got to be
Zontix
goddamn
here. They
madness.
think they have him in a 1 versus 2, but he's got support.
Oh my God, he burned.
Last second burn. Shiro, can he clutch up? Captain versus Orpa and Shiro. Aggressive moves in that swing there. Shiro does not play scared in these clutches. He guns straight for Astralis.
Doing it yesterday against Furia and doing it once more in the final.
That's a mismatch.
Such an oppressive force when he's on his own.
That's a mismatch.
I even like the idea for Astralis to go back to fight lobby. They know when to call it. Getting that kill onto Zontix, getting a 2v1. But Shiro just comes gunning for the close, and Team Spirit 6 rounds on the half, despite the 4-0 lead for Astralis. There's a hell of a recovery. Can they sweeten the deal? That was a good top pop for Astralis. And now their final chance.
Stair gets across, so they know secret's clear.
5-2 up at one point where this Astralis squad, you don't want to feel like you completely gave everything up in the tail end of this first half. Nabi goes 1 for 1. And the rest of Astralis set their sights on lower with a Stown lurk, trying to get rid.
No, this is a good half for them. The analyst desk was talking about if they get 4 or 5 rounds.
Down here and has been here for the longest time.
What the fuck is with Twitch, man?
And so it's going to be another big round for Shiro on his AWP.
It's going through. My oh my.
He's around the edge of the smoke. Shiro hits a blinder. An immediate trade available,
Bro,
though.
can I just watch the
And
fucking game,
Astralis at
please?
least tee themselves up to split this first half. Magic's all that stands between them and that goal. Time is not on his side here. He's got to be swift, got to be quick with it.
Actually,
and that leads
fucking
to a
amazing
lazy
idea,
clear
Ease.
on
Thank
device. For Astralis, they break that 4-round streak that Spirit were on.
And it's halftime anyway.
And give themselves a little bit of breathing room on their map pick as they try to recover in this final.
And that's what Hooksy said, right, coming into this game on the stage. He said, in our picks, we know we can win. We know we can take maps in this series. And with a T side like that.
Gotta be. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I also did load up the MLB The Show as well. If we want to play some like in between maps. Okay, let me pull this up. PGL Astana.
Donkey's still 15-7. And the script flips.
Okay.
Time to see what Chopper's got up his
We're back.
sleeve.
This round feels important for Astralis. It's what gave them such a leg up in this second map, but the top site has been hit hard. Spirit move in. Smokes down, tags up into these players in the heavens, but we're still in a 5-on-5 right now. Playing a contain on the lobby side is Chopper.
Full reset for device, but this is cope. There's no way you can win this round again. These are such hard rounds to win. The flash has to be perfect, and even then it is only just the first push into this site.
Flash dodged. No one blind for Spirit. Magic's closing the gap, moving in. Yabi doing what he can. The one to throw that flash, arriving a little later, attempting a clothesline. Shiro closing the gap, but can't find him. A topside rush seals their fate.
Did you get lost in van? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Open up this second half with
I was trying to load up my shit.
And I think that's only cosmetically close as well, right? Having no kits and playing full retake A is a big risk. Astralis know they need to win off of a gamble, but they'll also lose off of it. Force up to keep it up. They found this back on Dust on the CT side. And audacious play through the smoke. Spirit aren't playing lobby, they're watching it from the roof. Zontic's playing very careful.
I have that MP9, I love that MP9. The one that Stare has.
If Astralis just accept this as info, that's fine. It's if they try to go anywhere from lobby that it would have become a problem because of Zontic's on the extremities. And they don't, they'll concede it. Spirit have everyone else out in the yard, taking a lot of space here.
Astralis don't instant panic and go gamble B. Spirit are heading Heaven's side. Stan's already here.
I mean, with how Astralis are kind of tucked in right now, this is the only position you've got to be cognizant of is Magic's looking to get in through Heaven, and that's reflected in the position that Stown is playing. You never see someone sitting like this looking to stop the Heaven play. Gonna catch Magic's for free, but there's an instant trade out of Chopper. And so Heaven is still lost.
Oh.
Hooksy can't wrestle it back, and this split takes shape for Spirit.
Well, you wonder what it could have been with that kill for Hooksy. Don gets out on 1 HP.
1 HP
that could
is
have
nuts.
been the house blowing down for Team Spirit. Incredible recovery, and the round falls into place. So Anti-force is found for Spirit. And Astralis is trying to get out with what they got.
I believe both. I believe that's the duo we have.
As rounds fly
or no,
by,
I'm thinking of sorry. It's Hugo. It's sorry, not Henry. I was thinking of Harry. It's Harry and Hugo. Right? Now I'm tweaking. I need him to talk again.
Yeah, CT side as well, right?
Yeah,
so
there you go.
A lot weighing on this first rifle round when it
Harry
eventually
and Hugo.
comes through. For now, kind of just have to take the beating from Spirit.
But yeah, their voices are similar. Hugo got more of like a lisp. I feel like his is a little more distinct. But they are very similar.
Doing what they can with what little they have. They send Stare into lobby, and once more, Astralis have confirmed that Spirit aren't here. And that they are looking to play in behind these yard smokes. This time looks like Astralis just want to lay their lives down out in the yard. Try and meet Spirit here. Hoopsy will pick up one through the smoke.
Okay, it's good.
Damn.
Abby in a good position. They only know about one more of the three, so this could still catch Spirit off guard.
Good check for Shiro. Swing for Stare denied, and I mean, that was the best thing in the round, right? That MP9. At this point, you've seen 4 players out in the yard. Device gonna get out with his one, but he's just getting boxed in. They're all chasing him. Donk and Shiro swinging together.
Bro, Stown is like the one person where, like, I feel like universally I've seen Twitch chat, Twitter, the casters, the analyst desk, like everybody talks shit about him.
Mandatory.
It's at least going to have everything you want, right? Device on his AWP.
I mean, is it just because... So I know about the stabby thing.
Kit in play on
I know
Stown
apparently
and
he stole
Hoopsy.
somebody's girl or something like that.
For now, Device doesn't have an AWP to go up against.
No, I
him
know,
on the other
but
side, and so
there's like
a chance
actual
for
people
Device to
actually
make
don't
an
fuck with this
impression,
guy.
perhaps.
Despite Donk being 18 and
Like, I've never
right now, it doesn't
heard,
feel like he's just
even if,
being
because like
the
even if
demon
you think about
in this
Halo,
game.
right?
It's been
Even
a
when we've had
pretty
like
team
characters
game
that are like
as far as
villains
Spirit
in
are
Halo,
concerned.
like even the casters are like, oh,
Across
you
the
know,
board, everyone holding
somebody's
their
got to
own.
play that villain role, or like the casters never would be like outwardly like, oh, this brother sucks, people hate him.
Chopper leads the charge. Donk right behind him. Those smokes land outside, and Stown tries to threaten it. Oh, just a little short, but through the smoke nonetheless. Catches a whiff
Yeah,
of
I'm
Donk
still
and continues
catching up on
the
CS
solid
lore.
head-to-head.
I mean, look, if Stown
All I know is
exists for
the
sole
stabby shit,
purpose of getting
and apparently
the
he stole
guy
somebody's
out of the
girl.
round, that's all well and good. He's already done a great job here of slowing down this yard aggression. Device spots one on the cross. That's info.
Or somebody.
He knows that Spirit have made it
he
down. That's
cheated
gonna
with
trigger a
somebody or
rotate.
something.
Stare
I don't
already
fucking-
dropping
I
through
don't know.
ramp.
Should know that's fake steps. Yabby heard him cut noise. Magic's going back to red. Stown remaining aware, but the rest of Spirit are surrounding this B bomb site right now, and no one's even in position.
Yeah, Stare's in a bit of an awkward spot here. He needed help sooner if he actually wanted to get into B. Felt like he couldn't leave ramp entirely uncontested.
They only saw one guy down lower. They weren't sure on numbers. They find out the hard way with a bomb plant.
Chopper closing in on these ramp players.
Show me some Device.
Device AWP spotted. He's starting to build a picture of the numbers over towards ramp. For now, Magic still kind of lost to the hands of time here. So a 4-on-2 in this lower site for Astralis. Stown even finds Magic's on his lurk, but time is still the problem. Time's the enemy. Zontic's offering up resistance. Needs to win this. Swings out wide. Stown, it's going to be
That was
real
fucking
close,
close.
but fist bumps are there. He believes he's got it. It's close from Zontix.
Ugh.
Stown serves as the anti-clutch, stopping him in his tracks.
I saw somebody in my CS game
Great
like a week or
output
two
for
ago
Zontix,
who had that
just
as their
not
profile
for him in
picture.
that
The
position.
chunk.
Has to commit, and Astralis traded out very effectively, aware of the lurker as well. Magic's, as you said, extremely late. Can't believe Stown is cognizant of it. And Astralis, a must-win rifle round is won. And this game is back on.
Yep.
Donk's had enough of waiting for Smokes.
Their money would have been
Moves very
fucking
quickly
toast.
to the red.
Okay.
Getting cheeky with it.
I mean, they've used these smokes every time they've thrown them.
Really just wants to thin the herd here. Making a move you often see Nico do, just meandering around the smokes outside, pressure in main. They drop in. Magix is already starting to wrap. And Astralis panic button hit. They know they're losing space. They need something else. Lobby immediately.
I mean, they already gave Heaven. Magix doesn't even have anybody to worry about here.
And Secret, Spirit, sitting pretty right now. Question is, where do they end? Where is their desire?
Why did they panic so
Astralis
hard?
with a gamble, too lower.
Device dropped
Flanking
Heaven
outside.
so early.
Stown again might find Donk on the back line, but he slinks down the stairs.
At every stage in this round, though, Spirit have been painting two very different pictures for what might be happening. Noise made down at the B site. Molly's getting lobbed in. That keeps players here, but they still have that ace up their sleeve of Magic's over in Heaven.
It's a solid gamble, though.
Too strong in this B site for Astralis. Chance to bring a third player in as well, but that double hold gets wrecked. Device on his orb. Won't be able to find the
Device,
shot. That
please.
first incision to send Astralis in.
Good nade.
And so late in the game.
Are they going to save?
They can't justify attempting this man down retake. They're out of position. They need these guns.
Their money's going to be so shit if they lose this.
And that's where Magic's could be a real thorn in their side. The orb,
Device
very
has
much
to get
the
out.
biggest ticket item they've got. Hooksy at least has kind of provided a get-out clause here by clearing the lobby.
They will survive, but Spirit immediately respond after Astralis' first gun round. Great trade work on B.
Astralis is going to have a
stack means nothing to Spirit.
They are going to have a shot at it, though.
Down in that lower bomb site. Device had to hit that orb shot to even entice Astralis to go for that round, and they would have again had a very winnable round where Magix is too far away to play a part.
Device is the only positive one, but also he hasn't gotten shit going with the op this game.
And, you know, in a game that could very easily end up just becoming a battle of brawn, right? With how hard Zontix is hitting, with Donk and Shiro having such a good tournament and keeping up these appearances in the final. But it has been, you know, more of a battle of brains here, right? Both the captains carefully moving their pieces around the board.
All right, I'm going to hit the pine park real quick.
Trying to outwit and outsmart one another.
And it feels like Spirits is, you know, a lot better in these gun rounds, right? They're getting Magix into some powerful positions. They're getting a lot of space outside. They're not really getting threatened yet from Astralis, which is a bit of a surprise, because if I think of Stown, I think of someone who likes to get aggressive outside, push behind main. That's exactly what
I will
he's
say,
doing
like,
now,
Astralis
under
looks
the
good in their
cover of the
pistols, and they have
Device
crazy
orb.
egos.
So this is
But
more
yeah,
like
in every
it.
full buy round, they just get fucking
Planting
pissed
their
on.
feet firmly
Especially by this
outside.
Spirit team.
Astralis trying to fight for this real estate. The smokes look fake right now, but Donk is coming in. And it will be
did
like
you not
Donk
see him?
to clear this position. Shadow gives it up. Stown pre-fires and finds yet another kill on Donk, but Zontix trading quick. Device over
Big
the
kill,
smoke.
though.
Oh, another
Device,
whiff.
please.
That is ugly. Those are the ones you can't afford.
This brother cannot hit shit right now.
Rounds.
Not the type of misses you associate with Device either, right? He's had a couple of these chances in swing rounds in important moments to be the guy to bring Astralis back into the conversation. Missed his first here. Lands the tag down range. Still yet to get a kill out of the Device orb, but he's done a lot of damage, painting them red out in the yard. Finally, Device comes up with one. tipping the scales into Astralis' favor.
Nate doesn't do any
That's
damage.
The bomb dropped as well out in the yard.
And the smokes are faded.
They do know,
they don't
though.
have any more. Device should
Does
keep
he see
fighting
cross?
here. Got a very
should,
tight
right?
gap, 30 seconds. I mean, Spirit have to be quick. If they want to get this bomb down secret plant B, they have no control. They have no real estate. They have no idea where Astralis are. So it's up to Chopper on the lug to carve a path to a round win. Coming out of the door, bomb very late, sneaking lobby. Is this just a save? I think it's petered out for Spirit. Run out of fuel in this buy round. Astralis do it.
Good round.
Device's damage.
Good round for Astralis.
And it's another one of these kind of galvanizing rounds for Astralis where, you know, they set the pace, they set the precedent, even though they're on this CT side. They come in with an old school Stound push up in the yard. And Spirit burn their final timeout. Ali directing everything at Chopper. He sits, he listens, and looks to implement it in this next round.
Yeah, the couple rounds Astralis have won, it's off the back of Stound finding that 5v4 into Dog. I'm sure he's getting traded most of the time, but you said it earlier, his entire purpose is just to rid Donk out of this game. That's enough. You take 1v1s, or 1-for-1s against the world's best.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter
and
yesterday.
Don't have that tip of the spear, it's just a stick. They can't break in.
Yeah, any round that Donk isn't multi-killing is a good round, as far as Astralis are concerned.
Oh,
Sails
okay,
past Donk. That's wild.
Vengeance.
Hot on the movement, and he's real quick with it.
What's up, Jake?
Through main. You won't be ready for the pace out of Donk here.
Oh my
Device
god.
doesn't even look like he's considering
Oh my
it. He's still
god.
scoped up in the yard. They have no clue that Donk has made it this far. Why would you? The pathing was
Oh,
wild.
hell no.
But he's done every single stage of this aggression with so much conviction. It's left
Oh,
him in a
hell
real powerful
no.
spot with so much time left on the clock. If you get Donk into a spot like this, you best convert on the round. That's what
but did they
Spirit are
wait too
thinking.
long?
Here's the backstab. Trigger discipline for Donk. Lets him close the game.
Oh, big trade.
But Hooksy will
Oh.
his tracks. This is getting competitive now. Astralis
What
chaining
the
some
fuck?
rounds together.
And Don can get the control, but his team have to live for it. They just get sniped out by Device outside.
Hooksy, nice ass shots.
Garage with the AWP. 2 kills come through for Device in the midst of that madness. And the first play we've seen at ramp really all hard for Spirit. They walk through the smoke.
I feel like Donk just took too long there.
Device doesn't miss these chances.
They were looking for the outside kill for so long.
Hero AK
Seen this shit
found
before.
that 5v4 last time around. He did take down Stound. And that's really been the more interesting head-to-head in this map so far. Stound, careful. Those smokes have gaps. And Donk has an AK. Pistols swing in to force a shot from
Device,
Astralis.
please.
Pistols fall down.
It's all good.
And Astralis look for 10 rounds in this second map.
All of a sudden, it's not just that you're chaining them together, it's that each round's getting cleaner. You're entrenching yourself in this CT side. Money will not be deciding your fate on Nuke.
High game, baby.
With the bank accounts that Astralis are building up. Team Spirit, a challenge has been poised. It has been leveled against them on this T side of Nuke. They have no more timeouts left to call in. Chopper's gonna have to earn his stripes cooking up these solutions on the fly.
It's been a really strange T-side where every single round has come to the yard control. Not seen any attempt on these upper busts. The Spirit abused against Furia yesterday. Sure, it was fallen anchoring, but there were some still really nice executes the Spirit had in their pocket.
No, it definitely is.
Now we see ramp control. First real time after the smokes land outside. Device is pulled back out of position. He realizes, comes back into the angle,
Okay,
and
Device.
nails Donk like that.
Beautiful.
5v4.
Oh!
Hits the wall back and sends Spirit into an early grave.
You fucking hit that.
They've cleared outside entirely. No lurker is slipping through the gaps here. Astralis know where Spirit are.
I've never even seen that wall bang.
Still, I think you can hold the Gravedigger for now because Spirit...
But yeah, Jake, what's good, bro? What you up to this morning?
And even though Astralis are painting a picture here, they're still a while away from actually securing that info as confirmed. Hooksy gets challenged. They lose him first down at lower, and that is the site taken.
Oh, shit. That should be round.
He needed that kill. I think Astralis just saved, like you said, from position.
Yeah, purely on
at the same time,
purely on feel, bro. He just threw that shit.
Site.
I'm cleaning, some vibing, Sunday reset vibes. I love that.
You can get by off leadership, but there are times that you're going to be asked to perform as an individual. There are rounds where you need to get
I hope everything's all good.
With Hooksy falling there, Spirit do find 11 first, breaking this 3-round streak of Astralis.
And critically,
just threw that shit up to the rafters.
Right? They would have been broke if they fell down in this round. When Device opens it, finding Donk, finding a follow-up tag, you start to get nervous. But Spirit are unwavering, a must-win round if they want to be the victors here on the Astralis map pick. As mentioned, they're a long way away from breaking through the Astralis money. And so Astralis get to remain competitive here.
Spirit really wanted to flex. They could just throw one of these upper busts at Astralis. It's such a risky call to make at this point in the game. And they won't look to pick up the pace. Device taking the Stown peak outside. And Stown by his side on the rifle. Astralis clear this position early. They confirm the smokes are a fake, and Spirit are looking for that A attack. Astralis need to get back in position.
Device, please, man.
Ollie is ready.
Here's the top
please,
side
Device.
Here. Once more, Hooksy in the firing line.
Show me something, GOAT.
The play stalls out, but only for a moment. Here's the hit. Donk at the forefront. Turns on a dime. Homed in on that third player, but can't get
Device,
past
please.
Yabby. It looked dire for Astralis. Yabby, has he just saved them, or can Chopper
Device, please.
rise to the occasion? Deals with the man that stalled it all.
Oh.
Here's a tag in the molly as well. This is info for Chopper. Should know that both players in this top site and their rough whereabouts. Time's the only thing he's got to work with, and he's hoping that if he sits still for long enough, the stress sets in for Astralis. And they give him a reason to go for this, but that's not going to happen. They're not moving. Chopper has to bring the fight to them. Can the captain turn it around for Spirit?
Oh my God.
Is first. Stare
No.
versus Chopper.
No.
And Chopper has the info. Time's now his enemy. Closing the gap.
Oh my fucking God.
Puts them on that point. 1v3 for Chopper.
Patience pays off. Felt like doing nothing.
That's got to be the fucking map.
Gift.
That's got to be the map. No fucking way.
Final second clutch saves them from
No
devastation.
fucking way.
Damnation. And finds map point on Astralis's pick.
And in a match where Hooksy is certainly at his pitfalls, right, struggling to get going, on the other side of the stage, Chopper firing on all cylinders. In a game that had tightened right up, that 1v3 has given Spirit 2 chances to close this out now, leaving them a map away from the trophy in Astana.
And this is what Donk is designed to do. End this game here and now, once and for all. Front of the pack moves back to the lobby. Spirit won't jump the gun. They have been slow on this T side, painstakingly so. At times, not even to their benefit. But they want to play as a pack. Group for this final
Chopper
hit,
is yelling.
this final bust of the top site. Uxie again holds a Molotov. This bought so much time last time, but Yabi still required 3 kills. Can he do it again?
They'll make their way out through the door. That molly has displaced Yabi. He's hoping the smoke, giving him this extra tiny ledge to
Holy
work with.
fuck, they just needed the shit out of Uxie.
Last time 3 wasn't enough, but with Stown
Okay,
here, right hand
down spams 2 through smoke. Device.
pressured over at ramp, and now Donk left in the clutch.
Donk in a clutch.
He has bomb.
You hit tab, you look at who's left standing. Fear creeps into the minds of Astralis. Donk is here. So quick, so decisive, so good. The front runner for Spirit.
That was the freest shit of all time, dude.
On the wings of their demon. Donk and Chopper back-to-back clutches. And Spirit
Brother,
now,
that looked like the easiest shit of all time. He just fucking shit on all 3 of them so fast.
She said she loves you.
Oh,
She can't love me.
shut the hell up, bro. They go straight into the ads. I'm pissed. Dude. It's not as good, like... It's not as good as the Kato clip, obviously, because... One, the shit's against Astralis, and also 2... smaller stage, and also I'm pretty sure it was against an eco. I'm pretty sure Astralis just had pistols, but that fucking Donk spray down clip on outside is literally just like the Kato clip, bro. Like the last kill that, like the 4th kill that he gets on the spray, where he's like literally just like he's full dragging his shit like almost 90 degrees down, and he just gets the headshot on the spray. It's like, dude, fucking Christ. And then he 1v4s for the map. Oh my god. That is fucking criminal. Chat, do I get McDonald's breakfast? Okay. I tried the tenders, Jake. They're not bad. Actually pretty good. He said I'm waiting for breakfast to be over. That's criminal. Yeah, that should be a 3S series now. That was Astralis' best chance to make a series out of it, I feel like. Plus also the way that you lose that game, like you're literally tied 10-10 at the end of the game. And then to lose the game back-to-back, you get 1v3'd by Chopper and 1v4'd by Donk. That's just like the most gut punch way to go down 2-0. Bro, steak and eggs is godlike. Steak and eggs used to be like an event tradition for me. Like at some point during like an event weekend, I would always try to have steak and eggs, like from like a nice spot. Brother, on God, bro, one of the best steak and eggs I've ever had. We had at some cafe in Charlotte Sunday morning, right before we played on main stage. Or no, that's cap. That would have been Saturday.
So Team Spirit
I have no
now in
idea.
full control of this final here in Estrala.
Hey, Richard Lewis.
I've got to say though, it really came down to the wire. That was a map that for me, there's 2 clutches that ultimately decide that. And that's how close it was.
But dude,
these teams were.
Oh, it is the CS:GO trailer?
And I don't know if that gives Astralis encouragement.
I haven't seen it enough.
Moving forward, or if that's more heartbreaking.
I mean, I'd say, Rich, like on a T side for Astralis, if they're able to get 5, maybe 6, they really have a.
I gotta get back on that wave, bro. We gotta get some steak and eggs in Dallas this weekend.
Near the tail end of regulation, Spirit, we're kind of running out of idea, just walking out by themselves, no real communication happening, kind of turtling up. But as you said as well, the individuals, man, just coming up so clutch for the side of Spirit.
I was impressed by Astralis. I definitely saw the signs of a T-side that we've already really seen in terms of the bones, but this time it's been fleshed out. There were some trick plays that were coming out from them. They were able to slot themselves into deep positions, sometimes just get the better of Spirit positionally based off of a lack of information. Astralis, they definitely did the job that they were supposed to on the offense, but man, that defense is one they're going to look back at and say, how did we let a couple of these slip?
I don't know. I think it was a very poor T-side from Astralis. I think they got the first 4 rounds. The first gun round, it was just an upper rush. They got the 2 entries, and that was it. One of the remaining 2 rounds was a trick play that they managed to win. It felt like Spirit, for the most part, had very good reads on how to play against Astralis, what were the things they like to do. I think I see that from how Zontix played and how Shiro played. They were really well positioned. You know, Zontix, when he would leave ramp, he was down towards B finding impact. Shiro as well had a great round. So for Astralis, I was impressed that they sort of managed to come back a little bit on the second half without winning pistol, and they managed to hang in there despite, you know, what was a pretty shaky first half.
Yeah, I mean, obviously as well, you can see here with what's happening on screen, this is kind of when the writing was essentially on the wall. There was no way Chopper should have won that round. We'll probably talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, that was fucking criminal,
and then
bro.
obviously you think, okay, well, you know, it can't happen again. Well, with this kid, it can happen again.
We were literally
and
in the
again.
We were literally in the green room, and it's a 1v2.
Absolute
Like, oh, well,
fucking
they
criminal.
might take this to, you know, overtime maybe, and we see the name of that guy alive. Oh, it's Donk, and we just see that this guy is
Steak,
just a
egg, and cheese
phenomenal
bagel?
player.
That should sound crazy.
27 kills. He might. This is ridiculous, dude.
You usually don't see him in the clutch. That's why we were surprised. Wait, Donk in the clutch? Like, he's so aggressive that he finds multi-kills, then dies, or they just win the round off of his openings. But yeah, it was impressive. He saw what Chopper did and is like, I got one better.
Given the meteoric rise of Donk, so many people wanted to poke out that maybe he's not a great late round player, that he's not a complete player.
lock in, Jake.
That was a load of baloney the whole time, okay? He was always extremely good in these kinds of moments. Maybe he swings a little bit too eagerly in a late round moment, but if he's left to his own devices, he's going to
I didn't even know McDonald's had like steak
I think people just don't want
on their
to
menu
accept
until
that
recently.
Maybe a player just doesn't have a weakness.
Yeah, breakfast tacos,
You know,
fuck
they
yeah.
don't want to accept that because what would that say about every other player in the game right now? And unfortunately, I do just think Donk is on another level. He's a transcendent talent.
I mean, there's a very exalted pantheon of greats when you talk about, even from the, you know, the early days of Counter-Strike, right? Few players come to mind, players like Forrest, for example, for Neo, and of course in modern generation we have Simple and Donk. Donk just has this preternatural ability to just read the game. No, exactly. Look at the clutch, just the way he played the clock, you know, the 1v2 on the bomb chat initially, the reposition, the peak. By the way, the final peak from Stereo, he was even holding a bit of an off angle, and Donk just reads it, insta tap. He's got it all, man.
Yeah, he really does, and they needed it, to be fair. I have to say, this was one of these
Gonna light a little candle in here.
where Team Spirit have the
All right,
luxury of relying.
do we go picture in picture? Do we play some MLB The Show? Is that the vibe?
Very deep holes, which has been a criticism of the team because it's
I
like,
believe
look,
it
that
might
kid,
be.
He should have way more.
We gotta get to
trophies
the
in
fucking
cabinet,
league,
even
man.
With such a short career,
We gotta get to the fucking league,
the
man.
people around him, they've got to kind of step it up, and you don't have to match his level. You just got to help him. Like that's it, really. We picked out some rounds to kind of illustrate the point. We can go first.
Yeah, I think the first one was the cool sort of strat that we saw from Astralis, you know, when Spirit got to string some rounds together, and then in round 7 they're on a sort of a half buy. Really, we're seeing like 2 smokes. People are like, did they miss a smoke? No, they're actually just sort of doing the wall of smokes. Skooksy is going to, with the bomb, go and sort of just tap the plant, you know, that creates a lot of chaos for the CTs. Oh, they're planting. Oh, what's happened? They're planting A. You can see the spamming, everything. Now the communication is chaotic. Zontix is actually kind of aware, but he's just in no man's land. Can't get a multi-kill from that position. And they're in a 3v4, but just this is where Stairs steps up and has a great individual round, sort of picks Spirit apart. And this is what it took for Astralis. Like, they got to a standstill, and it was this pocket strat where they were able to get one more on the board.
You said, you know, Dong being a perfect player. Like, these are the small moments you see him make tiny little mistakes because of the ability he possesses. Him picking up ramp right there. They had a player advantage, mind you. They could have actually slowed it out a tad bit, like a few seconds. The retake could have 100% have, you know, really happened for the side. So you can see sometimes Dong rarely happens, but sometimes he gets a bit too carried away because of what he knows he can do in the server.
It's a mistake when he dies. It's a great play when he kills. Like, I mean, he's just the way of a player he is. You live with some of these losses because so many times he'll just win the fight.
Okay. Let's do the thing. We don't really need audio on that, do we?
My happiness was in it. The melodies gave me hope when nobody's looking. My first assistant was a small town scholar, never did a till I got myself around her. My daddy looked at her the way he saw sin in me.
Clemson Reclximer, man. We're fucking back, baby.
So 2 down. The left fielder digs in now.
Fucking back, baby.
And a base hit
Yeah.
right there. Everything came together on that swing. Great rip on that one to the pole side. Didn't get too far ahead of it, just kept a nice bat path through it. Runner on the go, in the dirt. Throw and safe. That is a stolen base. Right from the start of this series, it's clear they're looking to be aggressive on the bases.
We're already cooking.
That's one way to set the tone. Runner goes again. And that gets down into the gap. Run scores easily, and it's 1-0.
We're already cooking, we're already cooking.
Well, that's a big swing of the bat.
Come on, baby.
Driving in the run with the 2-bagger. Great job on the pitch away, especially in that situation. He deposited it in the opposite field gap and picked up a double.
Can you guys believe we have fucking Game 7 today at 2 p.m.
And there's one away.
Between the Clippers and the Thunder?
2 outs, base is empty.
2 p.m. on a Sunday. Sick to my stomach. I know it's a Sunday, but 2 p.m., man?
Who uses the whole field.
Also, where have my frames gone? There they are.
He can't extend his arms. It's hard for him to hit the other way.
Stop throwing me these pussy-ass curveballs.
Pretty deep. On the warning track and hauls it in.
Is Kershaw washed? I don't know. I have not been watching any actual baseball this season. Unfortunately, I will not be locked in on baseball until the basketball playoffs end.
Runner holds up at second, 2 aboard now.
Which, dude, this is shaping up to be, unless, okay, respectfully, I'm all in on the Nuggets this year. Respectfully, if any of the other teams win, I think I'm going to be sick to my stomach. Bro, it's the Knicks, the Pacers, or Minnesota. So, fucking, I'm pulling for Denver all the way here, man. I need my GOAT Westbrook to get a ring. It's the only thing that matters anymore. Thank you for throwing me a fastball, you fucking loser.
Runner around third. Comes in to score. Comes through with the RBI. Smooth swing on that pitch. He connected out
pitch, 5
and
runs.
rattled it into the outfield. That's the kind of swing you
I mean,
want to replicate.
that's not horrendous.
So with a runner
it's
at
not
second
good,
and 1 away, next to hit, Paul DeYoung. Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Thought you were gonna say some 11 earned runs in an inning and 2/3 or some shit like that. Altitude merchants, but at least they're not racist or irrelevant. It's a crazy way to describe a team in a city. I kind of perfectly agree with you though.
And out at first. 2 out and a runner in scoring position.
Bro, speaking of, me and my girlfriend have a couple different weddings to go to over the next couple months, and so we're going to Nashville for a wedding in my family and some of my cousins. But then we're also going to Phoenix for the wedding of one of my girlfriend's friends. And I've never been to Phoenix before. I've had like layovers in Phoenix before, and I've flown through the airport, but like I've never actually been to Phoenix. So I'm excited. I don't know if there's anything crazy there, but we'll at least get to run around for a day or two and check it out and see what's good.
Play is made. 2 out. Orelvis Martinez will hit next.
I think the green is legal in Arizona, so we'll find some fun stuff to get into, I'm sure.
Left field. It bangs off the wall. He makes the turn and digs for second base. The throw in.
Oh, it's gonna be hot. Yeah, Arizona in July. Yeah. Wait, I got him.
But that time he got thrown out. So close to reaching
And the Matumbo finger wag. Who am I, Roy? Am I fucking Royborg? What was that shit?
2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, and it's a 2-run game. Tapped softly on the ground. DeYoung. And that's the ball game. This game shows
that wasn't even that strong of a throw. That was like a 2-hopper.
Every team needs hitters
I was
who
at
give
the
them
wall.
the kind of results he did here.
My God. What the fuck is a Minnesota? I've actually been to Minnesota, specifically Minneapolis, and it's so nice. I actually had such a good time.
So 2 down.
Bro, the scenery and the architecture there is so nice.
Strong hitting performance recently, working on a 5-game hitting streak.
They got some beautiful nature. The city's pretty dope. Very walkable as well, at least in the summer when it's not fucking freezing. Mall of America was really fucking cool. Had some fire-ass food.
Now a fly ball to
right
right
please
center.
Get down. Damn.
And that'll do it. No score.
But yeah, their team. I also like Ann Edwards, but their team's just not allowed to win because Minnesota and because Rudy Gobert.
Swing and a ball crushed left field. Can't get there. That should be extra bases.
Master Man would have had it.
Chance of a 3-bagger.
Why did you throw it to second when I'm spamming X?
It's been a tough run.
Is my guy stupid?
He needed that base hit. Maybe not quite the right launch angle.
Is my guy actually dumb?
To leave the yard, but he did a really nice
Bro,
job
I think the command like
left.
superseded the button I pressed because the hint said hold Y to throw to second. I'm literally spamming the X button to throw to third
on the ground
because the guy's rounding second as I'm fielding the ball.
Top of the 3rd, no score.
And then my guy throws it behind second base. Yeah, he doesn't even throw it to short. What the fuck even is that?
Little chopper rolls foul.
All right, we got to finish this game and then lock back into the CS.
Righty comes to the plate. And that's outside.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Swinging and a miss. Got the strikeout. Swing went right over top of the curveball. 2 outs, runner on first base. Here's the left fielder, Javon Ward. Line
nice
drive.
pitch.
Grabs it on the run.
Yeah, at least he fucking caught that one.
No run.
Goofy ass.
On to the next inning,
Bro.
and here is
Clemson deadass is fucking hilarious, bro. You tell him to do one thing and he just does whatever he wants.
1 and out.
No.
He normally swings at that pitch too. Fucking loser. I don't want
They're
that.
attacking him with good velocity inside, and that makes it hard for him to get comfy at the plate. Swing lifted to left field.
That was too
It's
early.
pretty far back.
Almost had it.
Makes the catch, and there's one gone. Just a
Spirit wins
shade
pistol.
too early with the swing, and the mechanics might have broken down a bit. He needs to try to put that up the middle instead of yanking it to the pull side. This one is labeled.
I was gonna say, if he catches that shit, I'm fucking installing this game.
Around first, hustling for two.
Clemson.
Well, clearly thought about two, but back to first safely.
Why did Clemson go back to first? I have not and still have not let go of my left thumbstick. Clemson.
Runner on the go, in the dirt. And no throw. He's
all
in
good.
there
I'm
at
just padding the
second with a
stats.
stolen base.
Clemson is fucking dumb, dude.
2-2. Runner on the go again. Popped up.
God damn it, Paul DeYoung. Why are you still playing baseball?
And that's that. So
Why is Paul DeYoung in the minor leagues or the Nationals?
on with one out. And now at the plate, Devontae Brown. Now the 1-2 pitch. Fly ball, left field.
Yeah.
And there's two down. We're in extras here. Now up the left fielder. The plan should be to hit behind the runner, perhaps shoot it to the right side.
Right here. Drive him in.
1-0. Ball inside.
This
Can you
is
throw me a
part of why
fastball,
he's
please?
been on such a tear lately. He's doing a good job working the count, giving himself an edge. Swing and a miss.
Better.
And the count 2-1.
2-1.
The hitter's probably feeling a bit confused. The pitcher went inside twice, then he went outside. Good job mixing locations.
That was it.
Two pitch. Pops this one up to the left side. Martinez. And there's one down. Two down and a runner at second base. Coming up to the dish for Buffalo, Leo Jimenez. High fly ball down the line and left.
It was touching the
left
zone.
fielder drifts towards it, and that is a foul ball.
Damn.
So here's the cleanup hitter, Damiano Palmigiani. The 0-1.
It was touching the
Puts
zone,
this
but it
one
was not
in the air
the
down
zone.
the line.
No.
On the move to the right. Won't get to this
Bro.
one. It drops foul.
That's twice
Nobody
it's hit the
out,
net.
and the potential
Let me catch
tying
one.
and winning runs on base.
Literally twice in a row.
1-2 offering. This
Oh my
one's
God.
smoked out to left.
Fucking
And
bitch.
that's the ball game. No complaints about getting a
Jesus.
team win, but he's capable of giving them more
Bro,
than
that was
he
like
did
the
today.
cheesiest fucking game. Twice in a row it hit the net at the end right there, bro. My God. If we lost that game, I was gonna cry.
Nearly playing into that B stack again, but you can see Chopper has kept the porch light on. He's left that back door open. And they move in to an empty A site.
So sad for Astana as well, because he big flanked, and instead of just going for the mid and looking for kills, he wanted to flank Apps to actually play the objective, and Spirit cancel the plan. Magic's even aware of that flank. So simply done for Spirit, converting on their pistol.
You almost had that kill.
I mean, for CS fans everywhere, it's very reassuring to see Spirit trying to go for this clean finish in the final. Home of the best player in the world. Reigning major champions, but this year other squads have leveled up. Other squads have got better. They lost their title in Katowice They have yet to lift a trophy in an arena since Shanghai. And where for other teams, roster changes have helped propel them up the rankings, Spirit have remained unchanged. Faith in this squad and the adaptation
just another
of
blame F is crazy.
Is their route back in, and that's why
that might be like the highest form of disrespect.
Even though Donk is very much stealing the show in this final, Shiro's continued evolution as a player is very intriguing for this Spirit squad.
What a flash, wow.
Astralis in their first rifle round bring the heat. They come in with lower tunnels aggression. They take away a huge portion of the map, and they get out with a 5v4.
Reset after the underclear, and they can play something more standard now that AWP hasn't moved a muscle back in CT. Spirit have the mid control. And they have to do their due diligence. They have to clear under, make sure Astralis aren't hanging around. So that will push them in towards this B hit where Stown sits and Hooksy jumps for him. So far, looking like a good first gun round here for Astralis. You would think they wouldn't clear Stown, but we've said that before. Deep Ollie. Even a smoke. This is an awkward spot to be in for Spirit. Donk's got the bomb up in B apartments at 35 seconds. They have to go.
Stown going to shut down that first man in, and the round's starting to stall out for Team Spirit.
They don't know.
Device finds one more, but Donk out through the apartments now, isn't ready for a player in at the bench. Hooksy collects a free kill, and Shiro left saving. Astralis, with a bit of wind in their sails there, make a play to open up their CT side, and it rewards them. Shiro pops and that's a death after time. Disaster for Team Spirit. And a bit of confidence displayed early on from Astralis. At this point, feeling like they have nothing left to lose, so they want to play their own game. Don't want to feel like they've been at the mercy of Spirit throughout this grand final. It's a nice way to open. Step in the right direction. But even with that death after time, Spirit still come through with a full buy to try and resist.
Yeah, Shiro's death not the end of the world. Astralis had already bought into an AWP. Still able to get full rifles in this round. Streaks are important at this point to stop Astralis' money from getting bottomed out. Spirit look for a decisive start. A smokes land. Looked like they wanted to go through that smoke, actually gets cancelled. Some really slow rounds in these T-sides for Spirit across the last map and this one. 1 minute as they enter middle. And after 2 con smokes, Stown still sits beside as Spirit come for the split. It's a good setup for Astralis, but they don't clear Stown. Chopper checks the wrong side. Good spray for Stown. Device got to turn his aim back to the ramp, stops Donk in his tracks. So trade for Shiro. Is this round on?
They've whittled down the first few players. Found a way to generate a bomb plant here of Team Spirit. Zontix has been sharp in this final, but he'll get decapitated. Shiro, runner, and Astralis just swarmed that last man. Not Donk there. And so they feel fine facing him with 3. Knowing that Shiro's feeling the pressure, had to go for that plant. So this hot start for Astralis.
Our one brother was in a FaZe jersey.
Finding their footing on the CT side. Money in disarray now for Spirit as well. And so a chance to tie up this game early. Second mana faces Donk. Chopper down a soak up, that first shot from the AWP. That's the price of admission to get Donk's Deagle out through the ramp. Oh my God, you can see why.
What the fuck?
Reset called, and that's because look at the gift that Shiro's found. Astralis very antsy up against the pistols. They up and left this B site. Now Shiro can't die here. If he does, that bomb coming back won't have a site to go to. Oh dear, Donk finds another on the D. Astralis can feel that this one is starting to slip away. Magic's also concealed, isn't known about here. They might think they dealt with the B player fast enough. Donk now moves in a position over on short. Astralis, they will deal with him, that Deagle dead.
Bro, Hooksy is better than Donk.
More than meets the eye to this Spirit team.
That's what today's telling me.
Magic's moving in on the Tech 9, closing the distance. Hooksy left fighting with a pistol of his own. They need to face Magic's together, but it's awkward on these lines. They will swing him wide, and Astralis able to hold on, but even around with just pistols causes a lot of chaos.
Yeah, it may not be pretty though, but Astralis will take what they can get again. 3 rounds are anything but, with Spirit this favored. But Astralis still get it over the line. They deny a bomb plant. This buy isn't perfect for Spirit. Shiro's no orb since his save was denied. Hooksy again charging the apartments. Astralis bringing a punch, and Donk denies it. He has an answer.
All right, he got him back. He got him back.
Triple B. Donk looked like he wanted all 3. But Spirit take a breather, and that makes Astralis doubt it. They have to go back to the A site. Stair leaves after what looked like an early rotation. They're not certain that Spirit are committing. They are. Chopper up short, stopped in his tracks. Donk's on for the ace.
What the fuck?
Into Astralis's heart, and 4 kills, finds 4 rounds for Team Spirit.
Jesus Christ.
There is no such thing as impossible to this guy. There's just no limit to what Donk is capable of. The way he takes every one of these fights, the speed at which his brain works, and just whirs away. It's like he knows where he's going to get fought from.
Just that first bullet accuracy as well. You never see him missing. Never seen caught off guard. It's not just reactions, it's more than that. Precision, decision, everything. I mean, Richard called him the perfect player. And you've got to consider it to the point where the biggest criticism we levy against Donk is his team, not the individual.
Oh, okay.
But the players around him.
Oh my fucking God.
He is just, he wants this final right now. He wants it over. He wants that trophy.
Oh, and then Hooksy kills him again with a pistol.
They'll let Stown hang out at the stairs.
Again?
With Donk dead. What can Stown do?
Go on.
Chasing down this last man. He's got 1 bullet left in the Deagle.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Hooksy moves in. Dink landed downrange. That's damage done. Stown with time to get the reload off. He's low on health throughout this entire clutch attempt. Can Stown match up? against this Spirit when they've lost their front man. Drop in for Stown. Looking for Magics in the sight. One bullet from Zontix would end this round, would stop Stown in his tracks. He's also got a molly to play with. Stown needs to bait that out early or else time decides everything here. He's doing all he can to try and get this Molotov. No way. No way.
Oh!
Zontix ice cold, but he still peeks in. Such a mind game against the crowd there.
Oh.
Stown knows he can't stick it. They give it away. Trying to force the reswing. Zontix goes just a little bit later, and Spirit, hey, it's still sweaty. They get it over the line again. Pretty nice try from Stown. But Spirit on a streak.
Hey, hell yeah, Jake. Fuck yeah. I hope that shit goes crazy.
Device just dropping off, and they're going to go through right as he's cycling the util. They're already out.
Device, please.
Molly slows his roll, and he's been softened up. Stair could look to find this. That's a line. Stairway to the stars. He deals with them, stops them at the steps, and Magic's dead.
Damn. Big round.
Have an anchor man they have faith in. Stair with a big multi-kill round to stop the spillover, keeps this competitive.
Yeah, we call Device Mr. Consistent, but Stair has been so stable inside of this team. Through all of the downtimes, through all of the struggles Astralis have experienced, Stair has been the least of their worries. And he's had some fantastic maps here in Astana as well to get Astralis all the way in difficult roles, in difficult positions. He performs. And again, after a donk entry, as many rounds begin, Stair locks it down and gives Astralis something to fight for.
Around where Astralis feel like they finally
Are the casters chanting with the crowd?
Still plenty of
Like
reason to
the
be interested here. As is often the case, they
the
find
local
a way
casters?
to give Donk a
I don't know what you would call them.
They know
The home
world
casters?
of opportunities this guy can open up. Chopper
Okay.
facing first in middle, dead. Hooksy line up in the apartments. Another multi-kill to seal the deal on this. It's only Shiro left to beat. No armor behind the AK, and they've got him boxed in. Tight lines for Shiro.
Hooksy the goat.
The AWP keeping him trapped. He'll slink back out of the apartments. Stown aggressive on an off angle. Will keep him contained.
They're typing to each other.
Who's the
right
favorite
now.
and who are we rooting
Shiro and
for?
Stown.
Spirit's definitely the favorite. I'm not really
Stown's not happy with
rooting
the
for
save.
either of them. I'm kind of pulling for Astralis just because it's funny and because they're the underdog, but like I don't
See if he
like
can prove it.
Astralis.
End it. Yes, he can. 5-5. Astralis going tit for tat right now against Team Spirit on another home.
Astralis are the villains. Used to be the greatest team of all time, but now it's just a bunch of shitters with I mean, they're running out of money, and they just have like terrible business practices. And I think they're like sneaky and devious and just kind of shitty.
Spirit laid out a spawn. They see
Spirit just won the
unbothered.
major like 5 months ago. They're probably like the number 3 team in the world or something like that. Yeah, Astralis.
He's 12 and 5. Sure, multi-kill in the previous.
Isn't it like the Danish government is like tied up in both of them, like Astralis
more kills
and Blast?
than anyone on Astralis.
It's just like 9,000 conflicts
it's
of
not
interest.
My expectation. Spirit really have taken some slow T rounds again. They're going to go back to middle again at a minute. Smoke's
But yeah,
coming in
Jake,
for Shiro.
Spirit should be miles better, but yeah. If anything, I'm kind of rooting for Astralis just because they just added Hooksy.
Before contact is made, Hooksy is just on a tear right now, but Donk is ready to put the leash back on him, shuts him down in a 4v4. Yabby in a great position. Chopper just cleared this. He doesn't know what he's running into.
Personality.
His B-site is fraught with danger, fraught with Danes. Device at the bench.
Gonna go unaccounted for right now. If he swung, Donk would be dead, but trying to play the timing is Device.
Oh, no.
Device, why?
Target. Gonna get spammed down. Donk found
Device,
Shiro
please,
dead.
thank you.
Astralis clean up.
How are they here? They're making this interesting right now. On Mirage of all
Why
maps,
is he not opping, bro?
Astralis with a 6-round CT side. That's despite the pistol converted by Spirit.
The fact that right now it's a very unlikely candidate trying to match up against Donk's output.
Crazy.
Hooksy, the new look captain of Astralis, one that fans have very quickly gotten behind this Hooksy comeback arc. In map 3, he is one of the defining characters.
Yeah, my first experience with CS, Jake, was playing it on the original Xbox. They had a version of it that was on the original Xbox.
We saw Good Dust 2. We saw Ancient recovered when Hooksy took over.
But yeah, it was probably just bots and shit.
We saw a nuke over Na'Vi, but they've lost Mirage.
Yeah, I didn't really play CS until like a year ago when I started with CS2.
Spirit expected this much output, this much resistance. And we're looking at Astralis that may as well win this half. 4 Tech 9s and a Galil for Donk. Is that your saving grace?
Right now, they're just happy they didn't lose him to those nades down in lower. So long as
that's cool though, Jake.
There's still fight in Team Spirit.
Raw boost. Cancelled. Lots of noise in middle. Astralis. They can hear it coming. They know it's coming. Hooksy's push. Hooksy's in T-spawn. They know it's an A-play. Device can win this round. He's flashed off the angle. It's up to Stown. Traded off the one. They have no time to pick up the gun. They've got to go into the site.
Device orb hitting. But it's going to keep rolling. He's got support over on ramp. There's layers to this defense for Astralis. And so as Spirit move in, they go right into the stack. They play into the hands of Astralis.
Not ready for this guy.
Hooksy late at ramp. Nearly 15 kills deep. Trying to match the output of Donk in this first half. And they will, for the first time in this grand final series, Astralis win out the half.
Good half.
In an unlikely fashion, without the pistol, having to do this in rifle rounds.
Spirit look a little shook. I know they're not worried about the series just yet. They're still in a great position.
Reclximer.
Reclximer.
That was a
Brandon with the 86 months. Welcome back. Much back. As always. Yeah, Brandon, how we doing this morning, bro?
And shut Spirit
also,
out
is it not like mad early for you?
Close gun rounds.
I was gonna say, Brandon. It's only 9:45 my time.
So
what is that, like 7:45 your time?
Making the real eye-catching plays. He's had the full support of his team throughout.
Damn.
Back on Dust, there wasn't a weak link in sight. Think back to Nuke. Zontix was lights out alongside him, Shiro. Here, it is that old school one-man army for Team Spirit.
Yeah, I got up.
Mirage.
I got up at like 6:30,
Donk's output has been
6:45 today.
unwavering.
Goddamn cat woke me up.
The rest of his team have slowed down. Will that come to matter?
Oh, run boost. Send it. It's down. Straight out. with great timing. Shiro can't even get under the balcony.
Surprised Falcons didn't just buy out Donk.
The scaling is in. Astralis are moving forward. These dualies are so blind on both peaks.
Yeah, I mean, that's the stupidest team of all time, East.
Astralis cement their feet on this site.
Bro, if Astralis wins pistol,
got a lot of info on that jump and it went unpunished.
and Foxtrot wins this map, we could be looking at a series here. Okay, regardless after this map though, whether Spirit wins the event or not, I'm gonna go get some McDonald's breakfast.
Give a bit of room to his teammate Donk. 3 players laid out ahead of him.
Oh my god.
No shots land.
They low-key lined up.
Astralis, no pistol in that first half, but they run away with the second one. That's going to solidify this lead on Mirage.
Of all maps, if you said Astralis were going to take one in this series, Mirage, I would have laughed you out of the room. No track record. Arguably Donk's best map. And sure, you can make a case for Dust 2, but at least Astralis have been winning it here in Astana. Pressure's off Astralis. 0-2 down in the grand final. They show their best game yet.
Move to YouTube call.
Up, trying to convert this pistol on a force buy from Team Spirit.
This shit's so much better,
these
bro.
are often where things have taken a real wrong turn for Astralis, right? It's in these force buy rounds, in these hero gun rounds that the most important rounds of the game, Astralis have more often than not given away.
Gonna go for a quick B split up short. No one here. Zontix and Shiro just jumping out of the market to get back behind the site. Zontix hits his. He is a dead man standing though. Shiro follows up. Can't hit that flick. There's a kit loose in the site if Spirit wanted to give it a go, but Astralis, they have the space. They blocked the entrance. Donk through the smoke. Why not?
Oh my god, why was that so close? For now, Donk is cordoned off back here in the market. They've dribbled through a second smoke to give themselves a kind of layered smoke wall here to play through. It blocks off the vision of the man at bench.
Should be no way.
Chopper looking to fling himself in, head removed by Stown. Donk trying to trace that, but can't quite get his bearings. And Astralis will stick the landing on this conversion. They now have some breathing room between them and Spirit. Still, no one else from the Spirit lineup here to support Donk in this endeavor. Might have been fine on the T half where Donk can seek and destroy. But here on the CT side, there's no room for a weak link in this Spirit team.
Yeah, and I certainly don't want to jump the gun here and call a reverse sweep in this series. That would be crazy, but you have to recall that Train is that 4th map, and that's the map that we saw Spirit look beatable. They lost to Fury yesterday. There was some great ideas
reverse sweep
from Fallen, some expert utility from that team, and Donk getting cancelled out on CT side in the yard. So that's why the desk are even saying, like, Nuke had to come up for Astralis if they were going to have a chance in this. But if Mirage is going to be pocketed,
okay,
then maybe we have a final after all.
Ah.
Only 1 kill from the Donk Deagle.
He missing.
The amount of relief you must feel if you're Astralis once he's gone. That is the only guy that's causing you any problems.
Yeah, single-digit kills across the board. Now for Team Spirit.
Like, there's a 5-kill difference between Donk and his entire team. And the thing that's most impressive about this now is Astralis, right? With them being on this T side, you only have to win that first rifle round and you are touching the finish line on Mirage. Getting past the pistols, getting past this B stack. The last issue they've got to worry about, and it's only Chopper convincing on the first. But they'll come for him. And they come in numbers, double digits for Astralis from nowhere.
Right.
A map they were never supposed to win. They are in pole position.
This is a huge round right here.
Every reason to do it. If there ever was a time for an unlikely comeback in a map that should be falling dominantly to Spirit, it's now. Spirit buy up here, but if they lose, they're broke, and Astralis are right there, ready to keep this final going.
Donk plays like he doesn't feel the pressure, but how can you
Boost
not
over smoke
in a game like this, where you are the only guy, the one performing, and Astralis goes slow, sneaking out under. Clear in their intent, this A split. Donk plays ahead of the smoke. Great flash, catches Zontix, and Donk can't cover him, but he needs no help. Hooksy, top performer of Astralis. Yeah, you heard me right. Put down first.
Damn. Even with that, he's still double positive.
Soon to fade. Donk spam.
Damn, what the fuck?
Alarm bells going off now. This rifle round matters so much. Two teams.
Oh,
Spirit.
shit.
And they've lost their one-man army. The rest of the team start to crumble. The captain can't hold on to the A site alone. Astralis, so unexpected. Level up on Mirage. And as a team, they look to beat back the beast that is Donk.
Now, it's games like this, you ask, where is Donk's team? Where is that firepower?
They're all getting shit on.
Sometimes only so much one man can do, and Astralis across the board with Stairs' best map in this final so far, with Hooksy leading the numbers, and Stound right by his side have something to say in this series after all. You couldn't have blamed them for giving up and going down here in a third map. But Astralis have stepped up to the plate. They've swung for the fences. A home run on Spirit's home map. Full A stack.
Donk and Zontix on the only two rifles.
I mean, this is where as well you're hoping someone like Device, Astralis' legacy player with a career as long and accomplished as his, you know, he's seen teams like this before where one man can make all the difference. He was AWPing during the heights of Simple in Na'Vi. But it was the strength of the team for Astralis that set them apart during their era.
Oh!
Gonna find one through the smoke, but he knows he has to make a hero play. And Yavi says, I'm the one with the heroics.
That should be it for the round.
Nails him out of the round. Team Spirit about to give up map point. All Chopper can really do here is look on as Astralis reach 12.
And it's not even been a contest in this third. Astralis getting cheers.
Astralis chance in 2025.
You
Oh
can't
yeah, and that's a
deny
good
the
point.
output
Aren't they
we're
in
getting
goddamn
now.
Kazakhstan or wherever the fuck? Where is Astana?
This adds a lot of intrigue into a BO5.
It is in Kazakhstan. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I
As to
wasn't stupid.
whether Astralis really can take this all the way.
I had to look that shit up, bro.
Can they make it 10 in a row?
Shiro collided them as well.
Hooksy dead
Because device is
first.
15 HP.
As this dream streak from Astralis loses its captain and its point man.
It's Star Rifler.
They look out into mid. They get the control they were hoping for. Info on the player over at short. Astralis building a picture of where Team Spirit can be in this round. They've pulled it back into this 4-on-4. They have the defense split. That A side of the map featuring Shiro and Donk over in B. It's Magix and Zontix on the warpath out through short. Now Device still waits in middle with this AWP. He could catch them dropping down. But he'll miss this window.
Shit.
He'll miss this timing. Zontix gets down into lower. Magic's going to spot the B play in the downtime. Spirit have the info. Magix elects to go down fighting here. Gets out with one. But the rest of Astralis hound him down.
Frank is so fast.
This is where that timing miss. Letting Zontix close the gap through the apartments. Will that cost Astralis? Or are they ready for it? Stair holding on. They're prepared for this gap. And this is Astralis 3-on-3.
Oh my god, he looks away.
To try and keep this grand final going.
Oh my
Zontix
god.
will thread that needle on the backstab, but Donk is dead. Yabi, 3 kills deep. A man known for shrinking up.
Where's
and going
Device?
quiet on these stages.
He's got left cross.
He's got Device, the veteran.
Oh my god.
Astralis in this with him. Can they really keep themselves in the final? They seem to think so.
Just live.
No time for Spirit.
Oh my
Astralis,
god.
keep this final going.
These spirits exercised on the stage. Hooksy's Astralis ordains this win. We've got a grand final.
We got a series. Ooksy time.
She said she loves you.
All right.
But she can't love me.
But I love you.
What is this ad, man? Also, how old is this shit? I feel like I've been watching this ad for a year straight.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1x bad. The human body was built to
Alright.
move, not trapped at a desk.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I am gonna run and grab some food real quick. I'm gonna run and get some McDonald's breakfast before them motherfuckers close. And then when I get back, we're gonna watch this last map. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the stream going. And I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Alright, be right back, y'all. There we go, that's what I meant to do.
It will not be a clean sweep for Spirit. Astralis do the unthinkable and win Mirage. And we're going to talk about why that is unthinkable. Obviously, we saw them get battered on that map against Na'Vi. Then we saw them adjust and lose narrowly against Aurora. We've already highlighted how this isn't a map that Hooksy you would expect them to have a playbook on. And yet, somehow, they've beat Spirit, one of the best teams in the world, on this map. I
mean, Yanko said it as well, like at the beginning of this, right before this map, some of the players could cool off for the side of Spirit. Everyone cooled off apart from Donk, but you still can't take away from what Astralis did on the CT side. They played fearless. They kept pushing, poking, prodding, and Spirit, they kind of crumbled there.
It answered the question. What happens when everyone on Spirit doesn't turn up and only Donk does? And there you go. There's your answer, right?
We were talking about what you need to do with a player like Donk on your team is just do your job, right? You don't need to do all too much, and Spirit wasn't able to do that in this game. For me, it was two things. It was Spirit mismanaging the economy towards the tail end of the first half, and the second thing is that Astralis was just able to, win the main rounds in the second half. Win the pistol convert, don't get force bought, win the first gun round, and, that's pretty much the game done and dusted in the end.
In the pregame, I wanted Astralis to just be disruptive, and they did that. They were pushing around underpass, top mid, into ramp even. They were making sure that Spirit were uncomfortable at times. Astralis actually had a decent amount of information in many of their first half rounds. That's exactly what I wanted, and it's something that they did in a little bit at this tournament, but they've amped up the aggression.
I mean, if you really ask me, it's not like Astralis weren't trying these aggro CD sides yesterday against Aurora either, but Aurora actually handled it way better, if you ask me, as opposed to Spirit, which is kind of surprising considering this should be the map for Spirit to lose, in all honesty.
Yeah, there was a strange kind of passiveness to a lot of what Spirit were doing. We saw it kind of right out in the second, half pistol. Like, there was, they just didn't seem to be on the same page at all. There was nobody, taking fights and trading simultaneously. Very, very strange performance, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you look at just statistically, right? In some of those rounds, Spirit had a chance in them. Just no one stepped up, in a 3v3, 3v4 to just grab a kill, make a play, allowed for them to get the bomb down and give them a chance, right? It was unfortunately just Donk, and I think really we'll get into the specific rounds in a little bit, but I think just they got carried away by trying to drop Donk AKs, right, and just ruin the economy, and they ended up finishing the half with 4 half buys,
That's exactly what Maui said they would do as well. You did call that. You were when they were behind, you were Spirit are just going to keep force buying and trying to do hero stuff, and they'll eventually freeze themselves out of the map.
Unfortunately, when you just don't have the weaponry, you expect that Donk is going to be able to deliver you some magical round, but the lack of well-roundedness is not only in just the pure skill of the players on Spirit, but in the playstyle and the calls that they made too.
Yeah, for sure. And also just the lack of, we harken back to the Donk clutch of 1v3 and Nuke when we was talking about the decisiveness in his decision-making and the fights he was looking to take. If you look at the way, just the body language in the server for a lot of the players of Spirit, it just seems so indecisive, so just lacking confidence. A complete far cry from what we saw in Nuke, which, for me, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, it's really hard to pinpoint, but I guess you have to give credit once again to Astralis, right? I mean, we can talk about Spirit. They probably should close this out 3-0. It seemed inevitable. It hasn't happened, but, the 3 maps of Mirage that they've played here, the improvement is measurable.
I think most importantly, they didn't give up, right? Yeah. They didn't lose faith, and they had a clear game plan that they were going to be aggressive from the start, double swinging underpass, down 0-3 in the first gun round. It's pretty ballsy play, and it panned out, and the individuals stepped up, right? In key moments, we have a couple of rounds, I think.
Sure, yeah.
First one of them is actually even in a 4v5, right, situation, in Spirit, these A executes didn't really work out for them. And this is Astralis' money tapped out. This is their last bite. Device dies, and now it's Stair on his lonesome, right? No support. Everyone's behind the smokes. He's able to find a triple kill here. Yabi kills the lurker, and the end they're able to finish the round. This is where Spirit drops the AK, has a mixed buy. They try to switch it up with a B-pop, Hooksy, triple kill again. That's back-to-back rounds where Astralis completely shuts down the hits from Team Spirit.
And it shows the versatility of Stare in that situation, because just before HooXi joined, he was the B anchor. So switching over to A is pretty difficult. So many angles you have to manage, but to find the perfect timing to get the lineup as they were coming out of the A ramp, to get the multi-frag, like, that's why we've been singing this guy's praises as the guy on Astralis that's just been the rock for them, the guy that consistently can output even when he's thrown in perceived bad roles, bad positions. I mean, consummate professional.
At this point, even if you give him the AWP, I'm quite convinced he could be a primary upper of the team, in all honesty.
Let's hold our horses there.
I'm just believing, right?
Hey, if Rez can do it.
Why not? Also, by the way, real quickly, like Ston and Stead, these are the two players we pointed out in the pregame as to they've been consistently delivering the playoffs thus far. Once again, in this matchup, they delivered as well here. 7 kills apiece.
And I think Spirit will, sorry, Richard, will really benefit from the extended break, right? Because it did seem like they got a little bit emotional. They got frustrated, you know, when Astralis got rolling. They lost 10 rounds in a row to lose this map, right? So I think having time to cool off, to have a chat with Hallie and their, you know, sports psychologists and whatnot, to sort of refocus, right? Like, keep their eyes on the prize. Do not let whatever it is Astralis does to get into your head. Focus on yourselves. Play your own game. Like Chopper said when he got out on that stage, we just need to play our own game. They were doing that on the first 2 maps. On Mirage, they got a little bit rattled, and they obviously dropped off, cooled off individually, so they need to reset for Train.
And speaking of playing their own game, right, just to highlight, apart from the multi-kills that HooXi and all the players in Astralis are getting, we can just jump into the final round of the first half right there. It's going to be HooXi playing towards B, right, and we're going to see him just pushing apps. Just pushing apps. That's what I've been enjoying watching from Astralis, right? We saw it yesterday as well. We're not going to see his POV, but it's already in CT, and now we have so many players of Astralis stacking that A bomb site. Spirit have no idea what's happening here. Some decent trades coming out from their side. They actually get a kill towards Yabi, towards short, but they have no idea HooXi is just flanking in from behind, and despite the trades going their way, HooXi with the final nail in the coffin.
You know, actually, I just realized in the middle of this segment, I was saying that HooXi pushed Stare out of his position. Actually, in the beginning of this tournament, they did have Stare at B, and then they swapped later on.
That's an adjustment they made here.
Yeah, okay. So actually, that just kind of like threw me for a whirl right there. It's nice to see that HooXi's even taking the reins and actually going for those information plays, too.
I mean, as you saw there with just the stat line, that is one of the maps where he has turned up and made that contribution. You know, he's level on kills with Stown, with Stare, and a lot of them were pretty high impact. You know, we saw that 3-man spray down, even just lurking, being that presence you can't quite account for late in the round. It's really good. And it has to be said, he didn't have these types of rounds in G2. They didn't happen. People seem to have rewritten history a little bit, like, oh, he always did this. No. He's playing his career best Counter-Strike. He didn't do this in Copenhagen Flames either, right?
Yeah, I think he was much better. I think he was much better for G2 in CS2. I think that benefited him as well, right? And it wasn't necessarily his individual level that was the reason why G2 moved on from him, right? Like, this is obviously a huge bonus when we can have multi-kill rounds and shut down bomb sites on his own right. And it is, in the end, going to be about his teammates. Like, they're the ones who have to do the heavy lifting. He just needs to hold his own.
And speaking of just like the heavy lifting, right, we're talking about mentality, as Yanko pointed out. Let's just take a look at round 17, where there is still a chance for Spirit to try and grind this game back. And just look at Donk's POV, man. And you can see like initial duel's going to take place here. Weaponry's not that great from Spirit. Donk, look at what he does. He just taps through the smoke, gets lucky kill on towards a player inside a palace. That's just frustration. That's just him being like, I just need to do everything by myself. This frustration seeping in for the side of Donk. And so if I'm the sports psychologist or whoever for Spirit, more than anyone else, you need to talk to Donk. Be like, you know, don't be mad. Please don't be mad.
That's trying to win everything back in just one round right there. When things are sliding away and you make these crazy heroic plays, you think that you're going to win 3 rounds, when in reality, all you're doing is giving them a round in that very moment.
Yep. You can see this is what the round history looked like. I mean, just on the Donk point, there were a couple of moments where he definitely made pushes he didn't need to, and
because he felt he needed to.
But he feels he needs to, but obviously he doesn't need to.
He definitely needed to in this game.
Well, I mean,
his team, he had like at some point,
he's no good if he's dead.
As many kills as all of his teammates combined. You know, like when you see that and see that things just aren't working out, you realize that if I don't try to do more, I mean, no one else is going to do anything.
It's very reminiscent of, you remember when Simple was going through his nice guy phase? You remember that? You remember that fake nice guy phase Simple did? Yeah, hashtag new Simple. And basically every game he'd drop like 40 kills and then go, you know, I could have done more. I could have done more, and it's like, bro, it's your teammates that suck.
What's crazy about it is that we hone in the conversation on Donk when it's really the fact that nobody else was showing up for his team, that he's going to try to overexert himself like this. If everybody else on Spirit was able to just hold their own, pull off the crunches that they're supposed to, not get surprised by Stown playing connector in the same way on multiple rounds, getting multi-frags in the exact same position, then Donk wouldn't feel like he has to go overboard with these things. But that's just the life of a superstar. It feels like everything's pinned on you, and you just try to send it every single time if you're in the moment.
I mean, Zai, we had to go through it. Simple has to go through it. Why not Donk, right?
Yeah, no, it is the crucible. It's just how it is. But obviously as well, sometimes you just have to try not to be that guy. Like, you know, because you can't be every single moment, you know, of every single game.
And I think, if anything, it's a good sign for Spirit that he's having a very, very good final, because the one reason why they lost Train for the first time this year was he couldn't get going really on the map. He was the lowest rated player against Fury on Train, and seeing as that's the next map, I think Astralis is going to be in for a rude awakening.
Well, as I said, we've got this extended death segment now because the players are taking an extended break. So let's talk extendedly about Train, because obviously this is where the veto, this is where the final gets very, very interesting indeed. Spirit had a 3-0 in their hands. Now they don't. We know, we saw them just yesterday, maybe Train isn't the best for them. And we've seen Astralis want to move towards this map as kind of like the ace up the sleeve, so to speak.
I disagree with this pick for Astralis. I think they should have picked Ancient, and Train should have been the last map. Yes, because they have no reps on Train, really. Yeah, sure, the one game yesterday, but they were, you know, practicing smokes before the map, for Christ's sakes. Like, clearly they're not well versed on the map. So, but Ancient, you at least have things going for you. You know, you can come up with things on the fly if you're Hooksy. And then if Train is the final map, I mean, if Astralis is in any universe, go to a map 5 against Team Spirit, then anything can happen. Any crazy thing can happen. The pressure is immense on Team Spirit at that point in time, and then you can maybe by some miracle steal it away. I think now, after this break, I think Spirit's going to walk over them.
Well, hang on. I'll stay with you, because you said when we were talking about Train right at the start of the final, you know, we talked about how Spirit had lost to Furia, and you were saying, well, that was, you know, Yekindar just, you know, having a resurgence and getting back to being the world-class entry fragger that he used to be. Did you see anything in that game that Hooksy could have watched overnight and bring to the table today?
I mean, it wasn't anything too crazy. That's the thing. It was, you know, basic openings. Kinder is going to try to get out to Olaf, or sometimes he's going to just try to play around the smokes, but Fallen is holding a flash for him to sort of off of his feeling, peak on a timing. A couple of rounds were just 3v3s in B or 4v4s where K-Cerato steps up and finds the kills. So, if anything, you know, there's not much to copy tactically. It's just hoping that your players can deliver on the stage. And I'm sure he will have something, you know, like the upper strat on Nuke, that we saw some trick play for a key moment that they could whip out, you know, and hopefully get that reset to put Spirit on the back foot.
I think the one thing which Fury were doing pretty consistently on the T side, which caught them off guard, was obviously a couple of cheeky, I wouldn't necessarily call it one-way smokes, but smokes where they were edging, and Kinder was getting a lot of kills towards Donk, towards player at the back of the bomb side. And also, by the way, it's Yuri and at times K-Cerato or at times Fallen, just going for the early, you know, upper control, right? Just going for the halt control time and time again, and they didn't really have an answer. So I'm sure they would try to adapt to it, of course. But for me, I just want to, you know, touch upon a couple of cool things we did see from Astralis on the CT side. Despite the fact that we're learning smokes on the fly yesterday, we could probably roll around here, which I was really pleasantly surprised by.
Yo, what's up? Sorry, I just got back. Ballista Kenzie, sorry to respond late, but I just got back. I'm going to go take my girlfriend her food real quick, and then we'll be back.
This is going to be coupled with a
Molotov
Molotov
coming Kenzie. I hope your drive is going well.
What's going to happen in the meantime?
Alright, give me just a second,
CTs from outside pushing Pop. Look at this. Hooksy pushing up Pop, and a Molotov and the smoke's going to make sure, even if they push the smoke, the flames are going to keep them in bay. Bit of a mistake here from Aurora, of course. They're not expecting them to stick around and go for this push, but they push it. Look what Ston does. He's going to peek in along with Sirius, simultaneously catching the player off guard. In the meantime, Device playing passively. They know because of the aggression towards upper, they need to hold the line here. Device holding the long angle towards Ivy. Yabi playing from the bomb side. Double peek comes in. They catch Xantares, and it's just a hit and run. They take the sweet time, get the kill, immediately get out of dodge. They're going to leave a Pop over here, and Aurora just left scrambling
at this point. They kind of run out of time, and once they try to kind of half-heartedly clear outside, they get picked apart. Some cool ideas from Astralis, considering it was a pick we didn't expect to come in, actually.
These kind of rounds that Astralis throw out, this is when they're at their best. This is everything that we've seen, that when they're able to beat Spirit on Mirage right there, when they're able to pull off the upsets to even get themselves into this grand final, it's because they're playing these active defenses. HooXi has been such a difference maker in activating them and making sure that they're always taking some kind of proactive play, but also giving them the freedom in these moments too, because sometimes it felt like Cadian would just keep sending it. Sometimes it's just, you've already built up a new line of defense, and then he wants to erect another one after it, when in reality, that was already great what they had right there. They didn't overstep, they got the kill that they needed, and then they just slinked away and forced Aurora to be the playmaker.
And they only used it twice in the entire game. Just keep mixing things up so much, and Aurora just like playing a guessing game the entire T side.
What do you think, Coach?
What, about that round or just in general?
Well, about Astralis on train.
I think the key part there is the score is 3-0, right? And we saw that Astralis will go for those plays even when they don't win pistol, but it's a lot more punishing if it doesn't work when you don't have that conversion behind you, right? It's always going to have to be in that way for them. They can't come from behind necessarily and grind the game out, right? And sure, you can argue that it was a little bit of that on Mirage, but you could see when they win pistol convert, that's the easiest way for them to get this done.
And just bringing it back, though, to Donk. I mean, yes, he got schooled on train yesterday. This guy gets more frustrated at himself than almost any superstar I see in terms of wanting to deliver more, even on a world #1 performance last year. That kind of... The way he's actually trying to build himself up and almost acting like he's still imperfect, he's going to look at that loss more closely than he did any other map of this entire tournament and ask himself, what do I need to do to help my team? And in a weird way, some people might think he's a little bit selfish, but he always wants to direct it back to the fact that he wants to do more, so his team has to do less. And obviously on train, he knows if he doesn't do enough, that's what's going to happen, what Furia did to them.
I promise you, Don would have gone back, and apart from the team talking and everything, going back through that demo, because he knows there's a possibility this map's absolutely going to be coming out, maybe in a second or as a fourth map. He would have done his map, figured out how he died, how he got figured out every single time. And I guarantee you he's not going to be caught off guard like that today.
Well, that's the flip side to the coin, right? I'm talking about HooXi watching that Spirit Furia game. I mean, obviously Chopper's done the same, right? So they can probably make some adjustments. I mean, I thought Yekindar was masterful in how he played on the T side. But, I mean, equally, you can make some adjustments that would have neutralized.
It's just hard because it's a very unique situation that Spirit was in, right? So they're 3-0 down. They win the gun round with one player left alive. Reset round comes in. Obviously, people have to buy for themselves. You have MP9s with utility or M4s with not a lot of utility. And in that round, they missed the smoke for main in the mid round, where then Donk gets caught in no man's land and they end up losing. So now you got reset. Now you're ecoing, right? Like next buy round, final. But at that point, you're 5-0 down already, you know, and then you have Furia being able to switch it up and keep winning rounds, right? And it's just a situation that is going to be difficult no matter what in terms of what adjustments can they make, right? Like those rounds are hard for the CTs in this economy, right?
Everything's hard
even on a map like even on a map like Train, it's going to be difficult because when you don't have a great buy, it forces you into things, right? You feel limited. You can't take long-range fights with the MP9, okay? So what are you going to do? You're going to try to get into T main. Well, the Ts obviously know that. Either they'll try to get you beforehand, or maybe that's when they'll put more pressure on Ivy. That's when they're trying to hit B, you know? Like, they can expect those sort of plays.
I think as well, you know, look, I think Spirit, it is interesting to see that there are these cracks in a team that, remember, reigning major champions, you know, got arguably... Well, not arguably, they have the best player in the world, but arguably should have one of the best squads in the world as well. Very hit or miss. And so now you're in this position where maybe there's a map that you're vulnerable on as well, right? And so I don't know. I said at the start of the day, probably we go the distance. I mean, that's literally how I'm feeling. So let's talk about what a victory on Train for Astralis would look like, what the various components would need to be for that.
I mean, as Yanko touched upon, the lack of reps is the problem here for Astralis, right? Sure, you will look... The CT side looks great, don't get me wrong. I like what we saw, but we didn't get to see the T side yesterday because of how dominant the CT side was. So no official reps on any proper gun rounds on his T side, and you're going to try and replicate what Furia did yesterday and even throw in a few curveballs. That's a tall ask for Hooksy, despite all the prep he might have done.
They have to start on the T side too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so that there's no hiding away from it this time around. And listen, I think just for Astralis and their players, I mean, we talked about them finding the joy and whatnot, but it's also like, finally, they're not perceived in a negative light. Like, people will hate watching Astralis, whether for the players or for the org, for all these different reasons, you're just wanting them to fail. It feels like finally people are kind of rooting for them, you know, with Hooksy coming back into the team. And I think for these players as well, it's really enabled them to find a different gear, to find a different level. Just also on the server, like the way they interact with each other, the belief is there, they're not losing faith, and that can be very powerful, you know, when on the other side you have a team that even before the tournament started, there was only one thing that would deem it successful, which is lifting the trophy.
Yeah, and then look, just on that point, because I know people at home, obviously you might just be tuning in for the final, you might be a filthy casual fan, you might not know all of the story around Astralis. And so, look, here's the outcomes that this team have had to play under potentially. First outcome is, and this is the best case scenario, the organization is sold to new owners, new investors. They keep the name, they keep the brand. Astralis stick around as we know it. It's just with a new, you know, shadowy board that doesn't really matter to the esports fan, and life will continue as normal. The other outcome is you're playing to be sold. You're playing to be bought by another organization. You know, in my other life as a journalist, what I've been told is they're looking to sell the team as a complete set rather than individual players. So everyone has to play together. Everyone has to do well here. And maybe you get to another organization. Maybe there's new organizations or old organizations that want to come back. You know, organizations like Cloud9, for instance, might not feel bad about picking them up. And then there's the third outcome, absolute worst outcome, and that is that the org is shuttered temporarily because they can't meet all of the costs, and I don't know what happens to the players in those circumstances. I guess they're in limbo. So for everyone at home, those are the stakes right now. Lifting a trophy, I don't know what that does for any of those outcomes, but it can't hurt.
No, definitely not. The club prize pool for this event being north of $600,000 would definitely be a nice injection for them. And that's why, in many ways, Hooksy has already been the life raft that Astralis needed in order to just continue keeping the lights on. I mean, some of the investments that Astralis have, and even the ones that they pulled out of, you know, selling the League of Legends team, moving it all into just the stabby transfer, and trying to make it work with Cadian, it failed. It all failed. Missing 5 majors in a row, a catastrophic failure. But Hooksy is giving...
I've seen that secret handshake they do as well, the stabby connection, if you ever see it when they do it.
They just don't want to hurt each other's hands.
No, well, what it is it's how they pulled the knives out of Cadian's back at the end when he joined Astralis. But
all planned out, of course. Yeah. Look, we always, you know, we use a meme about Hooksy's world and everything. But really, if you think about it, just like, you know, just condense it down to, we're talking about how the team is suddenly loved. What changed? It was Hooksy coming in. The organization's still the same. There's still the same 4 players over there and all the drama and everything that surrounded them. But I feel just this underdog comeback story of Hooksy and all the brickbats he had to suffer, and just, you know, into the wilderness and coming back, almost a Rocky 5-esque storyline. Bad movie, by the way, more like a Rocky 6 storyline of him coming back in and making it work.
We can do all the Rockies.
All the Rockies. But it really does feel that way, right?
It's not how hard you get hit.
It's how you get back, and that's what Hooksy's doing.
No, that really is.
Along with him, he's bringing everyone, like, everyone's starting to love this team again. It's
all right, I am back in shit.
It's miraculous, if you ask me.
Well, I mean, it could get more miraculous. As you can see, the clock is ticking down. We're getting closer to the moment of
truth. My girlfriend her food.
So I'll ask you once again, but I know what Yanko thinks. Yanko thinks Spirit are going to just come back and be the zen
But again, what's good, Kenzie? Sorry if I missed you.
And just be calm and close this out.
Again, I hope your drive is going well.
Astralis will still probably feel, wow, what a tournament, you know? But Maui, I don't know. I got a bad feeling about Train. I'm a Team Spirit guy.
I mean, I said at the beginning of the series that it was going to be a 3-0. Already wrong, but I got to double down, all right? 3-1 Spirit. That's where I'm going with this one. Losing to Furia was the wake-up call, or it should have been the wake-up call for Spirit to rethink how they wanted to work through their train defense, just like they had to rework their vertigo in the past. I think that this is a similar situation for them. I bet they're going to come up with some new tools to activate Donk. I don't think they're going to be missing teammate smokes.
Yeah, I think they probably had some time to practice. What do you think, Blair?
I thought
I'm gonna hit Pine Park, and I'm gonna eat this breakfast.
I feel like getting Trey throwing in a curveball here in the second map would have been a play. And once I saw New coming in and 2-0 for Spirit, I thought this was a done deal.
I've been watching some Counter-Strike this morning. Been up early today.
Right now, I gotta say, I can
just
see
got some McDonald's breakfast.
I think it's still gonna be Spirit at the end of the day, but I'm
about to go ape shit on this McDonald's hash brown.
It's gonna be a long night.
After I hit the Pine Park.
The
good day.
problem with that
it's a good
is
Sunday.
Obviously, I don't
got
know
some good CS to watch. Got the
is
Nuggets and Thunder Game 7.
I'll put it a different way.
Here,
if it does go to
in
a
a
fifth,
few
I'm
hours
taking
as well.
Astralis because I just want to see Hooksy look into Raga's eyes and say, "Are you considering me now?"
Just a nice lazy Sunday with a lot of good stuff to watch.
Easy to forget. Another little detail for people at home. They interviewed the coach Rugger when they about the Cadian pickup, and they were like, "Did you ever consider Hooksy?" And he said, "Absolutely not. He was never under consideration."
He's not going to be there for much longer.
I mean, well, listen, I guess it depends.
They're not out of the tournament yet.
No, regardless.
Go Nuggets. I'm right there with you, Brandon. I'm all in on the Nuggets for the rest of this postseason.
Yanko is also available for work, by the way. All right, guys. That's it. We're finished on the desk. We're finished on the desk. We can put our job applications in later. For now, it's Harry and Hugo.
An unexpected turn. We've arrived on a train as Astralis have offered up resistance and made this an interesting
and I can't have the Knicks or the Pacers win, man.
Night and day on the floor between these squads on that last map of Mirage. They come back now.
Can't have the Knicks or the Pacers win the chip this year.
Spirit having to go away and do some soul searching in the downtime because Donk was firing on all cylinders, but the rest of his team were quiet.
Yeah, we came into this series almost
thinking,
my
goat
hey, there's no
Westbrook to get a ring, man.
Astralis are not meant to win it.
Pine Park time, let's go, baby.
Really builds up when you hit a third
Game 4
map,
getting
when
started.
Down 0-2, when
Yo,
we're
did Device pop his collar?
this grand final off, but Astralis play their best
Is that what we're doing now?
on a map they haven't won with this roster. And now we look at a series that could go the whole distance if Spirit continue to struggle on train. It fell to Furia just yesterday.
Device
here.
popped his collar, bro.
Donk with a nearly career low. Can he pick it back up, or will Astralis make this the distance?
This is a great position for Donk out of the E-box, but the flashes make life hard for him. He does have cover, but doesn't last long. Clean stuff from the rest of the boys, though, as Spirit will repel the A-play dominantly. Donk not even required. It's Chopper and Magix, the two that started this grand final series off with a great pistol. I'll do it again to open up train.
Yeah, the question for me in this fourth map is depth, right? Do Astralis have the depth? We heard them talking about how they were learning smokes going into the match against Aurora. That's borderline crazy. But they picked this map. They seem to believe it can't just be because Spirit looked beatable and Donk looked nerfed. It's got to be because Astralis have something up their sleeve. Astralis trying to play with Spirit. Get in their heads. That was the story of last map. Bit of back and forth in the chat. Some tilt perhaps, and then 10 rounds in a row from Astralis. Can Spirit reset? A huge question asked of them in this grand final.
Shira with this grimy angle just plays for the info. Block's gonna come running in for Astralis. A bomb plant here feels like a victory. Will it get that far? They're chasing Stout, but he just plugs in those numbers.
Oh, Shiro could have stopped that, to be perfectly clear. He had it,
He was
but the
spinning in
spinning
circles.
got in the way. He looked annoyed at that. Could have been money denied for Astralis. Instead, they get a pretty decent buy coming into round number 3. Furia set some strong precedents on the T side against Spirit on this map. They had great utility to stop aggression up the B ramp. They had Yakinda playing timings, jumping out A main, getting behind Olaf, playing lurk smokes, being annoying for Donk. Yakinda out-dueled him time after time.
Astralis fan in a Falcons jersey.
Well, Astralis
Jesus.
look at the Fallen playbook, or do they have something of their own? Distraction. This is all for the pop control. Molly buys a second. Astralis extinguish.
Donk up close, fell first. Hooksy
Dead ass, he's.
gives over the opening. Chopper also followed up on 2. That's great from Stair. Magic's tucked in, but they are closing in on Magic's position. Stair starts to get nervous, getting whittled down by Zontix back in connector. Ends up far closer than Astralis were hoping for. And now Zontix left in a clutch. 1v1's laid out ahead of him, but Device is making moves to link back up with Yabi. And they seem so aware just from who's left for Team Spirit. They know where to look. That spam connecting earlier on. They were ready for Zontix's late play out through.
Yeah. That corner doesn't work, by the way, if you're wondering. That corner is not deep enough. You can't hide there, so even as Zontix tucks and re-peeks, they can see him. What a spray for Stair, finding 2 kills off this entry. Chopper looked lost. And Astralis land there first. Shiro's orb enters the fray.
Yeah, not to be underestimated on this map is Shiro.
Whoa, game audio?
It would bring another level to Team Spirit if he
gets
activated. Good map for him on the AWP. For now, he's just holding a line down in Ivy, a very, very tight line at that. As Stown kind of tests the water on this position.
Today.
The rest of Astralis lean over towards B.
Shiro does look very strong on this map, and I think that's a huge piece for Spirit because last game it was just Donk, right? There wasn't even that typically reliable secondary player for Spirit. He's 5-1 right now. He's got his favorite gun early, Glass. And Spirit need him now. No ifs, ands, or buts. They don't want this one to drag all the way to a 5th. Or Astralis suddenly have the momentum 2 maps in a row. This one is such an unknown. Smokes
Leaving this down to the wire. 30 seconds as they set up this A exeg. Shiro here on the AWP, but that shot just sails on past. Magic's trying to bail them out. Starts to feel pressure. Ivy's been open for a while. He'll turn back around, but he can't contain Stown. 15 seconds. Time is a problem for Astralis. They've got to break through, and they've got to break through now. Shiro will get found out. Can anyone deny the plant? No one can stop this. Astralis get that bomb planted, and they'll go on to clean up. Comfort playing to the extremities of the time. And they go into a padded out A site. Zontix deleted. Astralis hitting the ground running to open up train.
All right, they've been in the lab a little bit. Donk with a missed shot. Shiro getting spammed through the smoke, and just crisis on that A-bomb site. See how vocal Donk is getting there as well.
Whose family is that?
Stressful round for Astralis with everyone here for Team Spirit, but they've now put them on pistols. This one should be easy. Hooksy doing his Yakinda impression, getting out behind the box very early.
Gabby just playing a contain.
Not interested. Don't want to give them anything.
And he hears a bunch of footsteps over in Pop, so they know about this B stack. There's a lot of guns on. So surely any hope of wildness in this vanilla pistol round out the window with how Astralis play it.
Yeah, they're a little cautious, but reload caught. Drops the bomb. I'm not worried yet, but Astralis are taking their sweet time, hoping these kills just come to them. They should in due course. Crikey. Just finish it, Astralis, making a meal out of the anti-eco. They chow down on a third round.
Very early timeout for Team Spirit. Knowing the importance, now that they have this full buy, you don't want Astralis after 10 rounds in a row to close out Mirage, getting off to a similar start here on Train, and this is your chance to stop that. So how are they going to weigh in?
Got a tech now for Astralis. Brief moment of respite.
Tech pause?
For Team Spirit. It's all about this outside control that Astralis have just been splitting in these first couple of rounds of the game.
Start this game during the pleasantries, the good lucks, the have funs. Don called out one duo by name. He said, good luck, Stabby.
Oof.
A reference to the former heroic duo in Astralis, but I don't need to tell you that.
Definitely been some beef in the chat in this game, not something you see often. Only those players can truly know how it affects them. We can only presume, we can only look at the result, and it was clear. Astralis stomping Spirit out on Mirage. And an unlikely affair has opened up this series completely. And this crowd just wants more Counter-Strike.
I mean, who doesn't?
Back in after the timeout, and a pretty fast pace set by Astralis as they try and tee up Stown with the cover of Device to get out through Ivy. Magix is here, hoping to contain this, but Stown gets past him. That's a huge problem. The backline now corrupted for Spirit. You're going to be looking over your shoulder throughout the entirety of this round while Stown is still in the picture. He'll play his hand now. Going out soon, Shiro is the guy who could find himself in the firing line. They're still hoping to find Stown, but they just can't get a beat on this guy.
Oh, he stabs him in the back all right. Flank up Ivy, 3 kills on the entry, traded, and round falls for Spirit.
It's the Stown and Yabi duo to make it happen. Stown starting out through Ivy, Yabi with a key trade to stop Donk's roll. Save called for Zontix as another one of these rounds just slips by the wayside for Spirit. Even with this save, this is all they're going to possess in that next round. And so your worst nightmare coming true here. After one hell of a streak back on Mirage, you wanted to stifle the Astralis confidence a little bit here, especially on a map that has proven to be somewhat strugglesome for this Spirit team. They're only, well, up until last map, their only map loss on their way to this final. Coming a Furia here in the semis yesterday.
A Very exciting prospect in a grand final that felt like it was just gonna fly by. Look at Donk.
Brother, regain.
Head in hands. You can hear every cheer. Stark difference on the Astralis side. Jokes made, smiles on their faces. We said
what
playoffs,
the hell?
Getting here, hard part done. This bit's just for fun. Screw it, you got a map in the grand final, why not take it all the way?
It's been many moons since fans of Astralis have felt like they truly have a team to get behind. A captain bought in at the 11th hour after finding himself out of action for a whole year. Labeled the problem back in G2, Astralis themselves even saying he was never a consideration.
We doing breathing exercises?
Astralis that has just been chock full of surprises, both in getting to this point, but in keeping the final going. Hooksy trying to accomplish something that many a captain have tried and failed, and that's to get Stown and Yabi truly activated on these stages. They've held their own today.
Kind of tipped that.
Across this whole stage as well. Multiple games in playoffs, even with some slow starts from that pair. They have finished strong, and that's what this grand final was all about. 0-2 down. An attempt at the reverse sweep, a final Hail Mary here for Astralis. Just unbelievable to be talking about them in this fashion after years of horrific management from this organization. That one change could make such a difference.
I mean, the last time Astralis fans even got to see their team in a grand final at a big event was all the way back in 2019. It's been some time.
Almost 2,000 days.
Exactly, no lattice. We'll fucking see.
That was the original Astralis lineup.
We will fucking see.
The one that was so good, you almost hated it. Device, still here. Years on.
What's wrong with Hooksy's PC, man?
Stown still typing. Still trying to ruffle the feathers of team spirit. Push their buttons.
Crowd chanting Hooksy.
And I kind of admire it.
I mean, press every advantage you can. Press every button you can. And, you know, even for the Spirit squad, turning the spotlight on them a little bit after how now this finals left hanging in the balance. What felt like it was going to be a guarantee with a dominant map to open, closing out on back-to-back clutches. A map that felt like a must-win for Astralis, their first pick in this BO5. On the back of a Chopper 1v3 and a Donk 1v4, stolen away at a very close scoreline. It felt like it was done.
Yeah, the desk said Astralis needed Nuke to even get a chance in this series. A statement that is very hard to disagree with. But despite that, we're still here, 4 maps in.
And like, this is a Spirit not without problems of their own, right? In a year that was and has been dominated by squads that made roster changes. I'm looking at Vitality to elevate them to be the team to beat right now.
Even Falcons.
Spirit had that faith, and yeah, Falcons is another one. But Spirit had faith that this was the roster, this was what they wanted to move ahead with, and that was to the dismay of many Spirit fans, feeling like changes were required. This was supposed to be a bit of a reminder of what Spirit are capable of. Will it end up being the case that those community worries prove to come true? Astralis back in after a tech pause. A lengthy one at that. 4 in a row right now for the Danish squad. Donk on a hero gun, creeps forward. Hooksy dealt with first as Donk tries to leave a mark. Gabby starts to search B in the downtime.
Unfortunate timing for
Shiro.
Shiro.
Quickly, that man advantage is whittled away.
Down out Ivy's exciting, but Magix is in a ratty position. If he makes the same play as last round, he might go uncleared entirely. Stown's presence is a lot of pressure. Pressure that Spirit must consider. And his team will come meet him in the outside, potentially avoiding Magix. Chopper back sight. Tucked in, and Astralis say, give us a space, we'll take it. Gabby's going to clear this. Chopper still recovers a shot. Stown out, finds Magix. Chopper calls for Donk.
Donk in the right place on this gun. 2 players ready to swing him out through Pop. It's Device a little later to keep it clean.
Astralis.
Donk dealt with. Astralis up to 5 in a row.
Another stressful anti-eco that comes down to a 2v2. But Astralis still squeeze it out. Showcasing a strong T side. Spirit's third buy.
Holy fuck.
To try and hold for the pop cross. You know who you're going to be facing when that's the fight you go for, but Donk doesn't give it to him. Instead, it's a big nade to hurt Device greatly.
Look at him go.
Hooksy
What the fuck?
runs it through Pop.
Whoa!
The transfer! More than just a
Hooksy is pissing on Donk. What is going on?
Hooksy, 2 kills to soften up this A site. Shiro wounded, not quite mortally, still at play, still at large. But his teammates feeling pressure.
Nowhere to go.
Magic's getting boxed in. Zontic's found in the downtime. Astralis swarm this A site.
Donk cannot kill Hooksy, bro.
Still know that they've got Magic's trapped in a box here. Living
Bro,
on
regain,
a timer,
fuck.
living on the say-so of that Device AWP. And so it's only Shiro left. Tries to play his hand through the smoke. It's being held though, and if he reacts to that bomb, he's a dead man. Instead, the spot there, but Stown will deal with him. And Astralis looking to the shooting stars, only deal in streaks, 6 straight down the stretch to open up train.
Spirit just look lost in this outer side, right? Hooksy comes out Pop, there's a flash for him.
Bro.
Player back sight is pushed off the angle, and Hooksy makes it all the way to red train. 2 players, no one even looking at him.
And just fucking
First
runs
player
their
through the
shit.
smoke, Donk misses his shot. A sentence you do not say much. And Astralis playing from the front, 60 rounds. We're seeing an aggressive Stown. We're seeing a confident Stown on the stage. Something never seen before.
A player who could never shake the reputation of being a choker on stages, a group stage merchant.
Changing that tune right now.
Once more, Spirit put their faith in Donk.
I mean, he's had a rifle near every round of this series, it feels like. He doesn't eco. They drop him a gun, they save a gun, they give it to him. He has 3K, he buys a gun, and then they drop him one next round anyway. But here in this map, it's coming up with far less results. 5 and 7. Donk looking mortal. Here on the B bomb site, there's Astralis throw util. It's down again, keeps them concerned about the backline. He's in no hurry, but maybe he should be. 40 seconds. Is this bomb going T-main? This is
they're
scary
taking
for
forever.
Astralis. It doesn't matter now, but if Spirit start to get this info, they're going to realize that B play is a fake. They hear that bomb coming back through spawns. Shiro tucks in a great position. This is about to go very wrong.
1 kill on device, the round is over, and they have...
Oh, they cleared him. Oh my god.
Comfort in playing
What
the
fuck?
of this timer.
How have they done it?
For a squad
These motherfuckers cheating.
that had to rehearse their
Blatantly
smokes
cheating.
on this map ahead of the semi-final. They are so in tune.
Jesus.
Right now.
Yabi running and shooting to finish that kill. Just trying to piss him off right now. Stown, he's been beating Donk in head-to-heads in this series. In a lot of gunfights on Nuke. Had Donk's number, had the answer. He's done it again in this one. The hero rifle put down by Stown's pre-fire.
What the fuck?
I did not think this would be Donk's counter. But right now he's in his pocket, he's in his head. Device again, attempting the entry. And
Oh my god.
A shot from the Magic second orb. Hooksy full blind, throws his life down to try and set up the rest of his team, but Yabi can't go. For now, Donk's still in this. Magic's holding on the push, the double orb working wonders for Team Spirit. And that device opener quickly forgotten about. Astralis find themselves in a 2-on-4.
Magic's moving out of position at the right time.
Surely.
Device was patiently waiting for that kill to present itself. A B push.
One more from the AWP, maybe. Shiro, comfortable
device
line,
surely saves.
comfortable kill.
I mean, it's a whole ass minute though.
Time, the only thing on Device's side
Actually,
as he makes his
no,
push
I'm
out
done.
through Ivy.
Isn't that last
Magic's
round?
on this angle. And the double orb proves to be a solution for Team Spirit.
Wow.
4 kills, 2 apiece for both
Their
the
money should be
orbs.
fine though.
And finally, they break that 7-round streak of Astralis.
And Spirit already got 2 ops.
Whatever it takes, however they do it. As long as they get there, say Spirit. Fighting for 5 on the half. Catching Stown, getting cheeky through the smoke. And stopping that Hooksy swing out pop. Do Astralis have the depth? They haven't shown anything on this B-bomb site since that full eco. They take the halls quickly. Spirit, stop the A main control.
Now they go high.
Just by the nature of the fact that Astralis haven't touched this B-bomb site, you do feel like an attempt here is bound to happen.
Bro, but Astralis loves this
round?
whole waste time and dick around and throw 2
break
fakes for a
Spirit's
minute
money
and then
right
break out
back.
onto the site with 10 seconds.
You know, wherever you go, you're likely to run into one of these 2 orbs. It's Shiro adorning this B site with his.
It's a pervasive angle. Yabi might walk into it without even realizing. He's going to get nades out first. Lurk, smoke, shuts Shiro out. Shuts him up, pushes him back. Astralis attack
all
with
the
a full
util.
execute.
This puts a lot of pressure on Zontix. He was meant to just be watching ramp, but now that up is open, Zontix trying to make a play, feels so claustrophobic. Astralis bite down on B. Yabi with one hell of a sequence. Don can't bring him back into it, and it's his stabby duo making magic happen. Heroics from Stown and Yabi seal the deal. On a
Lucy's shrugging like he's MJ, bro.
Like a hot knife through butter, they hash it out on this B site. And Stown and Yabi shut Spirit up.
And this is such uncharted waters for guys that can never step out the shadow of the stage. They are firmly in the limelight. Stown and Yabi topping the charts in map 4 of this grand final.
Who would have seen this coming? And now they play with bravado. That Yakinda pathing straight out behind the box. No kills offered up. Spirit play a little more passive this time. Chopper has an inkling, goes for it. Hooksy puts the pressure on. Molotov's going to force Chopper back. He doesn't want to 4v5 him. Yabi's gone through, and he will get denied. Chaos ensues, and Spirit thrive in it.
Well, Spirit should get one to end the half here.
He's boxed in, he's dead. Shiro Orb
good last round for Shiro.
Continues to be a defining factor for Team Spirit.
And
but 4 rounds is all they muster.
Well, they got the fan on behind them.
And Donk again, not his home map. That much is clear on the CT side of Train. What Furia did to him, Astralis are replicating. But to even more devastating effect on an attempt at the reverse sweep in a BO5 final. A honeymoon has never felt so good.
I mean, Astralis looking to deliver some revenge, make it so Furia's fall down yesterday wasn't all for naught, extracting elements of that game plan and using it against Spirit here in the final. Fall and walked so Hooksy could run.
Fall and walked so Hooksy could run is crazy.
It's the tank run dry. Burning coal on this T side. They go straight towards B.
First steps made.
This doesn't make a difference. They're faking out steps. Astralis have no one close B. They don't have that fake info Spirit have given them. As far as they're concerned, the whole map is quiet. A 2-3 with a kit smoke that will go a long way.
Stown and Yabi here. Top of the charts, Astralis duo, but Stown takes one of the dome straight away. Yabi's unable to get revenge as Donk leads the charge onto a deep push in a CT, and they look to meet Astralis here. They go out for the swing. Donk decides against it.
Yeah, it's a tight choke point. Don't let them back in.
Not giving up a few of these fights, chances for Astralis to find their way back in, but a lot of time ticked off this bomb. Hooksy does have a kit to work with, though, as you try and go for this last second, moving in. Shiro turns the tide, and Stown just doesn't have the time, nor the resources.
Big pistol from Spirit.
Big hat trick from Shiro, as he looks to make amends for a quiet mirage, rising to the occasion on Train. Top of the board for Spirit. And a much-needed pistol round on his back. That's going to give Spirit a second win, the fighting chance in this second half to start closing the gap. They just have to get through this force buy, and suddenly it'll feel like Train starts to open up again.
Yeah, getting enamored by this Astralis potential, by this Astralis comeback. Spirit can still end this grand final here in this half. They can put it all to bed, all the worries. Ballsy push for Stare. Playing up and in the smoke and main. Donk tames the beast. Stare gives him a 1D.
That's a hell of a shot. Stown still needs more, needs to extract more
Device.
value. Right now, he's slowing them down.
Uh-oh.
They're getting whittled down. Tagged up by scouts, tagged up by Deeks.
Oh
Now
my
Yabi
god.
plays his hand in with the
Oh
ball.
my
He
god.
fought by, tearing through Spirit. Magic's left cowering. And now they know where he is. Astralis trying to close
Oh my god.
in. Swing from Device could stop this right now. And it will come through.
Holy
Device
shit!
faces him head on.
What the fuck?
Robbery of a round for Astralis.
Another round where Astralis play like they have nothing to lose. They're pushing forward every step of the way. Sitting back, that would be Spirit's way to pick off Astralis
give me
one
just
by
a second,
one.
yo.
They throw themselves through smokes, round corners, and they find a force buy like that. Donk doesn't even get the hero rifle this time. Oh, I say that, Shiro throws it right over.
Stan with an aggressive move, and it will see him playing into the hands of this hero gun. Astralis not afraid. They've spotted players in the corner. That's going to do big damage on the nade, and Stown gets out.
This head-to-head is unbelievable. Is someone keeping count? Stown v Donk, and I don't think it's close. And it's coming in impact rounds. Rounds Astralis are winning. Stown in map 4 of a grand final is the top performer.
Round stalls out now for Spirit as well. What do they even do? They have one smoke. They're a man down. They were very split up here. Still trying to recover from this early skirmish over in Ivy. And look at the risk that Hooxie's taken. Calls their bluff, creeps all the way up, and finds the perfect timing. Magix was just holding this until a second ago. He's going to get killed before that smoke even gets used. The one piece of util Spirit had to try and get into this round is gone. One back for Zontix, a little bit more for Chopper, but it's Hooxie tightening the net on the backstab that's painted them up with damage.
Got to be Yabi now. They're so low.
Hang on, bro.
Guns to be retrieved. The best laid of plans for Astralis, winning the 5v4, getting the timing on the backstab, still might not be enough. Low HP for Shiro and Chopper, and a big spot
Oh my
for Yabi.
god, that is so ratty.
Feels like it has to be him to bail them out in this round. Chopper left cowering, but you've seen this corner let down Spirit before. They'll swing it.
Oh my
Chopper
god.
dead. And Astralis on to double digits.
It's just a horrible post-plant position. There's just no cover there. You stick out. No matter what you do, Astralis spam him through the box, and again, it results in a round win. Doubling Spirit's round count now.
31 kills for Stown and Yabi combined. And Stown finally learning what it means
yes, Jake.
to step up.
This has all been the same match. There was a tech pause for like 4 minutes at one point, but no, these games are just super long. I would say, on average, like a best of 3 in CS is like 2 hours. I don't know, hour and 40, something like that. A best of 5 is usually like 3 or 4 hours. If it goes the distance, it can be fucking
Enamored
long,
by the
like all
Astralis
day.
project and the addition of Hooxie, how far they've gone. This was the duo you always
Because I'd say on
wanted to
average,
become
Counter-Strike
unlocked.
games, especially if it's a close game, I mean, you're looking at
You
like
saw all the potential,
45 minutes.
but it would so
if
often
it goes to
disappear
OT,
when the
like
pressure was on.
an hour plus.
A renaissance for Astralis. Devices AWP.
What the fucking
Potent
AUG?
on the
Sorry,
beat,
I
hold
just
is
registered this is
opened
what
up,
this
knocking
motherfucker had.
Donk out of the fray, out of the round. No longer in this fight. Shiro
Oh my god.
Chopper
Oh my
doing
god.
what they can, battling forward. Even more for Zontix. And just there.
Oh, what the fuck?
Spirit play like they have nothing to lose in a low econ partial buy. They charge through that B site. A rare falter from Astralis.
Yeah, indecision for Yabi on a micro level, right? He goes for a fight, reveals his position.
No, so series work exactly the same as
they just chase him down. They don't give
it does
him the room.
in any other esport. Like, it's just a best of 5. Like, first team to win 3 games.
And that's a huge round for Spirit, no doubt about it. It's broken Astralis' money. But now it's about what they do with it. That was an insane round. Can they build back in this game?
But Counter-Strike games are first to 13. It's best of 24.
It's just a hero M4, a scout.
So first to 13. If both teams go 12, then it goes to
Astralis
overtime.
on the edge of a full eco.
And then it's first to 4 rounds in overtime.
Spirit step on the scales.
It used to be longer. It used to be first to 16 rounds, I think, in CSGO. Best of 30.
And what would really serve to solidify a thriving Stown is in this round where he's given the hero gun. If he's able to find his impact, will struggle to, as it looks like Spirit set their sights over towards B. He's back towards Ivy, very far removed from this B play instead.
Yeah, I don't know why it's that number specifically, but I guess they've just figured out over the years that, like,
everyone's
that's the kind of flow that works best.
Team Spirit. Yabi's on Donk's
I was going to say, do they not see him?
Shot eventually. A false sense of security, and that duo brushed aside. Astralis have to let this round slip on by them. Spirit start to close the gap, piece by piece, on this T side.
Worth noting that Stair dropped that M4 anyway, right? He had nothing in this round as a result, not even Kevlar. Gave that over to Stown. Trying to set up that start. But Spirit have other ideas. They break Astralis' money once and for all. And they look to mount a massive comeback in this 4th map to shut these Danes up. Floor to ceiling, this arena is packed.
First timeout from Astralis, and that shows how times are changing. A far cry from that streak of 7 that they embarked upon.
Yeah, there's pauses, Jake, there's a halftime break. Each team gets 3 timeouts.
And so trying to get ahead of it.
This shit can go long.
The unlikely allies. Huxi and Rugger trying to figure out how to stem the bleeding here, how to stop this before it becomes a problem. Because even though Astralis have surprised us this entire time, and they were in full control of Train, that's no longer the case. Spirit is still the ones with the chance to lift that trophy at the tail end of this map. And so this is where the pressure reaches fever pitch for Astralis. Shiro holds for an upper swing with the game he's having. This could be the opener for Team Spirit. Stair elects never to play. Doesn't want to risk this gun.
He's going to swing off his teammates.
Now decides against it. Instead, it's Huxi taking next contact. Burning alive, push.
He's burning, and he's going to get naded.
For the swing out from the heavens. This setup, this 3-man interplay for Astralis doesn't come through.
Feels like a wasted opportunity there. Stair could have caught after he heard that AWP fire off, knowing he's not covered by a scope. That was the chance to make things weird. Instead, Astralis with a B stack, and Spirit starting to surround this A site. The bomb's going back through spawn.
Yabi's frequently been left all on his lonesome in these stacks, and he's been the one that Team Spirit have played into. One kill here from Yabi feels like a requirement. 35 seconds left, so for Spirit, this is a very late exec in towards this A site. Yabi's Deagle gives us a chance to fire just 1 bullet, and that's all he gets.
Should be round.
Spirit dodged the stack, dodged these hero guns. and look to make this a 2-round game.
Yeah, it's closed up very quick. Oh, that's a big grab.
What the fuck?
Getting an AWP out of this is huge for Astralis, but it's not guaranteed with Zontix in this position. Stown aware of it. Zontix steps. Stown sees the shadow. One step too far.
He's trying to bait this shot so much, and he finally gets it.
Damn.
It's just more important you don't give the AWP over, even less so than you save it. Spirit have the money. On track for a comeback. 8-4, 10-5. Astralis do right on their opportunity. Money is not pretty.
It's a buy.
Been missing this molly a lot, Spirit.
Device making a play all the way through Pop Dog.
So low from the nades.
Spirit just playing these slow rounds, never falling down at the early moves from Astralis.
And that's fine, to be honest. Let them bleed, because Astralis have nothing left. Smoke, molly, nade. That is it for Astralis. And if Spirit start throwing an execute at you, you need every single kill to come through clean. Not going to get any free damage here. Not going to buy any time. The final smoke deprived of Astralis. And Spirit can just slink back if they want. Sneaking into the halls.
He's down on this jiggle. Just playing for the info. Gets out of there after he gets the spot. Has to concede this real estate to Spirit. Once again, it's one of these 30-second execs, but Spirit are very strung out right now. 2 players still over towards B. We're going to have to link back up with Donk. 20 seconds on this play. They've not left themselves the good graces of time on this clock. Zontix opens up at a B, but the bomb's heading out into this A site, and Yabi can hear this. Caught crossing. Plant comes down. Stray bullet could have saved this, but it won't come through. And Spirit doing to Astralis what they did to them all T-side long. These slow, suffocating T-side rounds. 1 kill back for Stair. 3-on-3, but a round you'd already given up. A round you'd already conceded.
Oh, Spirit absolutely scrambled Astralis right there. Zontix coming out upper at 20 seconds, and there's 3 players B for Astralis, so that only just keeps them out of position. You can tell how unready Yabi is, how unprepared as he sneaks out from hell. There's an AWP in main at 12 seconds. It comes down to the wire, but Spirit stick the landing. Oh, that's close. 8 health on Stown after the spam. And so Spirit had no room for error, but with no error made, sit around behind Astralis.
This game was 10-5 in Astralis' favor. They've been keen at burning these pauses now as they can feel the nature of the game changing. It's now a fight for survival. And one of the big fears for fans of Team Spirit, can they do it if Donk ever has a quiet game, if he ever struggles? Well, this is far and away from Donk's match right now. Instead, Shiro holding the fort, Magic's rising up through the ranks, Zontix with some key impact kills as this comeback looks to come through.
Yeah, and it's at this point in the game I ask, where is Device? He has to have a round on this AWP. He has been largely not required in that T side, but here on defense, on a sniper, think of Shiro's impact in these couple of maps of Train on the stage. Device cannot go quiet. He is that experienced guy. He is Mr. Consistent. So that AWP better strike. Astralis need it. Device ambitious. But I trust his instinct. On the top of the Train. A boost for the pot box.
Holy shit.
Spirit trapping this A site.
There's been a really good realization here from Astralis too, and that's to hold on to Util late in the round, right? If Spirit are going to deal them all these 30 seconds, they try to hold on to as much Util as they can to stall this out, but will you be able to? Device drops down from his perch up on top of the Train. Donk closing the distance.
Oh, he gets
but
one.
the Device off. Yabi,
What the
kills
fuck?
from him on the aggression. Spirit getting shut out finally from one of these A plays. Shiro looks for a route back in, but an uncharacteristic miss seals his fate. It's not the game yet for Astralis, but they get to keep that gap between them and Spirit, and they widen
Huge
it
round
a
for
little further.
Astralis.
Huge round for Yabi. 3 kills in defensive A, doing what Astralis haven't been able to do yet. They repel Team Spirit, breaking this 4-round streak.
Frustration for Spirit setting in as this series is slipping. A stressful map of Counter-Strike.
As mentioned, Astralis seemingly have learned from their mistakes of rounds gone by. They've not been dumping all this util early. Onus going to be on Chopper, and whether he can figure that out might call a bit of a faster round here.
What the fuck?
Dead instantly to the Device AWP. We said we wanted more from Device. Now is not the time for him to develop a stage fright in this final. 1 kill on the AWP already. Help from Hooksy goes a long way.
Creeping under, Chopper.
They'll get
What
under
is
the
this?
Device
What is
scope,
this?
And Device is uprooted or brushed aside. Spirit batten down the hatches. They get into
No
A.
fucking
Felt like
way.
Astralis had control. This was in the palm of their hand.
Boost?
Spirit has snuck in. A boost has to be the way. Yabi and Stown against Team Spirit.
This was the corner that was letting down Spirit all throughout that first half. They lost so many of these post plants from that position.
They've got to know both.
Yabi and Stown try and use it against them. They get this into a 2v2. Shiro holding, can't afford to miss a bullet here as the game hangs in the balance. Shiro nails it. And Yabi now put in an awkward spot, pincered between the AWP.
Damn.
Shiro swings.
Fucking Shiro.
Tried and true, the Shiro AWP on Train continues to uplift Team Spirit. In an era that is being dominated by these strong AWP duos, Nico and Monacy and Falcons, Rops and Zywoo for Vitality. Shiro looks to be the counterpart to Donk. His output in this final is undeniable. He is the reason that Train is still a possibility for Spirit. They still have the chance to close it out here and now.
More than a chance. Astralis are on their last legs. They are shaking, quaking in their boots. You lose this round, you have nothing to show.
I mean, Astralis needs to win this round.
Force, Eco, it doesn't matter. Either option, horrific for Astralis.
You basically got to win this round if the tournament's over.
They have to find map point. Or this final might fall into place for Spirit after all. A tediously slow T-side called by Chopper. Across Nuke, across Train.
Doesn't do that much damage,
moving
though.
his pieces around the board. And for Spirit to show they can do it, even without Donk, would be a hell of a statement.
They're fucking cooking.
But we're not done yet. Explosion out the B side. Chopper leads the charge.
Oh no.
They don't know about Stown.
This is where your heart's racing.
Oh no.
Chopper. He's amping up. Spirit with
that might be it, bro.
Game. A chance to close on a map that has been causing them problems.
Astralis has to save.
Scoreline's getting worse and worse. Fielding that L to Furia, but digging deep here in the final. From a 5-10 deficit, Shiro has led the charge throughout.
And now this next round is going to be the round for the tournament. As long as they keep these guns.
For Astralis now.
Device should be good.
No money. Only these 2 saved guns. Device and Stare will have to be the ones that keep this unlikely grand final dream alive for Astralis. If they don't,
let's see what Astralis got
Spirit
here.
will be lifting that trophy in 2 rounds' time.
Let's see what Hooksy got for us.
How impossible it felt just minutes ago. Spirit looks suffocated.
Chopper just runs through.
By that Astralis T side, but it's a different game now. A late game recovery. Shiro stable. Astralis throwing whatever they can the way of Spirit. Hooksy's aggression tempered by Donk. He sees a shadow, he wants more. A trophy within touching distance. An Astralis that did more than you can expect, but is this where the road ends? Is this the end of the line? Full execute on B. A brutal close. Donk does it again, double up.
This is where Device has to earn his keep. This is where that AWP has to do it because Stare's given them a chance, a fighting chance, but that's a huge miss.
2v2.
Stare's first time with a chance to grab a trophy. After a phenomenal run in these playoffs and through the groups, it's him and Stown left in this, but they've got Donk to beat. Stown, Donk deletes him.
Jesus Christ.
Spirit right there. And it's the arrival of Donk now.
That's got that. I mean, that's got to be it.
The last horseman of the apocalypse in this game is here. The end times are approaching for Astralis.
And they can feel it. It's been miraculous. It's been impossible. They landed within reach. And now Spirit look to steal it away at the final hour of train. Donk with a struggling map, but that 4K right there is all Stown's gonna remember. The Prince plunges his short sword right into Astralis' heart.
All right.
Spirit want to end it with a bang. Donk straight out through main.
Shiro gets Hooksy.
Feed first. A duo.
There goes Device.
To match the heights of these other squads. Look to shut down Astralis' hopes and dreams. 4 on 2. There should be no way
Spirit
to
is low as
misplay
fuck
this.
though.
Astralis.
The Spirit pumps the brakes so they don't fucking throw this away.
It's gone. It's not in their hands anymore. Yabi creeping up. Catching Chopper is a big thing. It slows the roll of Spirit.
Zontix and Shiro are both low.
Gets split. And so this is a moment in which Yabi
and he
is the
pushes
sole
up.
hope of Astralis. The one
Oh my god! And Zontix is on 4 HP. Holy fucking shit, it's OT! What the fuck?
Absolutely no right.
What the fuck? What a play from Yabi.
No business being here. 2v4.
No way.
Tournament on the line. And Spirit sink into their seats.
What the fuck, dude?
An immediate timeout for Team Spirit after such a hard-fought battle to beat the team. Moving on a map point, trophy point first.
What
Finding
the
themselves
fuck?
in a 4v2, thinking the job was done.
They're 5v2, in fact.
Even bigger burn for Spirit. And the future is anything but certain. That might have been the best chance you had to close this out on Trade. And Yabi has just ripped it from you. We go again.
This is what you play for. All the rounds. And then some. Spirit, they want to go. They're tired of waiting around. A flash is all it takes. They spot Yabi, but there's a second piece in this B site. Device's orb strikes.
Oh, and he misses.
Shiro misses. It's the deadly duo dead first. Someone's got to save him.
Zontic's doing what he can. Out on an island out here at upper, still looking for even more in this position. Knows more will be required. Chopper mocked up on the back line. That's the bomb gone. And Astralis looked to do right by Yabi. Taking the first in OT. Magic's so far away. So far removed. It's unexpected. First kill's free, but the next is the true test.
Astralis talking, considering their options. How do we not lose this? Util down, but don't fumble with nades. Magix is coming for the fight.
They're grouped together. Smoke in as well. Doubt starts to creep into the minds of Astralis as Magix tries to thread this needle, but he's not escaping Stare, who as soon as that smoke came in, started making his move. Astralis stay active in the 2v1. Finding these CT rounds, that's been the hard part. It is not insignificant that Astralis open up in OT and stick the landing, stopping Magix on his way to a 1v3.
Nades on the cross have done significant damage all CT side long.
Shiro gets Hooksy again.
But Astralis still make it in. Down crosses up to Pop. And Spirit have been slow in gaining this position.
They want to boost.
Device gets Zontic through smoke.
Zontic's at a range. Stam gonna jump up.
What the fuck?
Crossfire. Somehow, someway, Astralis
what the fuck was
that?
that? Somehow Dunk gets out alive.
Full reset, but that goes both ways. Astralis are entering unknown territory.
Yeah, this whole time you haven't had a beat on Magix. You don't know where he could be. And so that is going to slow down this reroute back towards the A site, giving Spirit a lot of breathing room.
He's shallow
really
as fuck.
have no choice here but to group up and play together. Return of the Wolf Pack.
Everyone's cautious.
Here it comes.
This is where Shiro kept them in the game long enough. But in this round, it's Donk who has to deliver.
Oh my god, he gets dinked through smoke. Still wins it though. Oh, we're good.
It's Donk or it's die.
Oh my god. No way.
Blessed by Shiro. Can Donk finish the job? Stare moves in. And Donk doesn't know where he's gotten to, doesn't know where to look. The indecisiveness, the quick scoping.
Oh my god. This brother's Jesus.
This guy just doesn't miss. Doesn't matter the gun. Doesn't matter the stakes.
This fuck does
And
everything.
Donk was quiet in this game. Donk was irrelevant in trade.
Ugh.
But that window
This sequence was
closed.
fucking nuts.
Since his 4K, 412 rounds, Donk has re-emerged in this fourth map.
Wow.
The confidence back in him. Courage to hype up
This
the
map
crowd
is
there.
nuts.
You've seen him with his head in his hands in some of these shots, but no longer. Donk has decided he wants to be the difference maker.
Going quick again.
Wants to be the reason
Oh my
that
God.
Astralis have
Oh!
nightmares about Train. Zontix and Chopper kills a piece. Yappy ducking through the smokes. Plays a dodging game, but will get found
Holy
out. So
shit.
Team Spirit, 2 on the T side. Clutch for Donk, domination in the
Great
final
T-side for
round.
Spirit. Holy fuck.
And it's Astralis who have to play catch up again.
An impossible game to call. And this crowd have loved Hooksy all weekend, but now they want blood. Team Spirit push to their limits.
Wait, Jake, I just saw the picture you put in the
And
Discord.
still
That shit looks
standing
fire.
tall, 2 rounds from a trophy. Against a T side that netted 8 rounds in regulation from Astralis. Stoun's lurks on Ivy were integral, smoked off, no respect. The nade pushes Magic's back and Stoun gets closer.
That shit looks fire.
Double orb for Spirit.
Was it gas?
Shiro moving in, sniper crossfire. Stoun's patience pays off.
Gets a little carried away trying
yeah,
to chase
I don't know about
kill and
that.
follow through on a Magic's though, and you hope that hasn't cost them the heroic duo falling first.
Oh,
Chopper gonna
no.
mop up another. Team Spirit fast building towards
Is heaven. Fuck yeah.
map point, championship point, and all that stand in their way.
No, you had it right the
is
first time.
captain of Astralis. Hooksy takes the first, but the next to face is Donk, and he
Jesus
is
Christ.
rebirthed on Train.
Yeah, you had it right the first time.
Reborn. Once we've hit OT, it's been a whole different game from Donk. Spirit now with 2 chances to close this out.
Yeah, Astralis had their opportunity. Donk playing otherworldly.
No, Astralis got to clutch up
Not
again,
often
man.
you
Back
see
against
him
the wall.
mortal. It was only mere moments. And now Astralis have met their maker. Spirit's chance to finish what they started.
Too easy, bro.
What
Hot
should
Sauce
have
is
ended
also
on
undefeated.
Mirage.
Oh, hell no.
What they came to Kazakhstan
And where do you live,
to
Jake?
do.
Is it hot as fuck where
We
you
said
live?
there was no challenge. Spirit success all but guaranteed. Can they close?
Fast cross for Stair. Playing this Yakindar position in
learned.
Olaf, but they're ready.
Oh, no.
Chopper's leveled up. He's got the reads. He knows
that it?
Hooksy's tricks.
Is this the dagger?
He's seen them before.
Shiro
And
burning?
Spirit, the path is open right now. Can they walk it?
Oh
Can they
my
get that
God.
trophy? Dog seems to think so. Device with a reply, but the round is stalled to a crawl.
And there it is.
Close. Team Spirit rise to the occasion. Dunk reactivated. Shiro a consistent threat throughout this game. The hell
Donk hasn't even gotten up yet.
because its demons are right here.
What a haunting victory. It felt like Spirit
This guy good?
almost crumbled on the stage. But they step up to the occasion. They shut Astralis up. A cocky Stoun with arguably his best stage performance yet, but also one he'll want to forget.
And these 2 guys, Shiro and Donk, they are the focal point. They're the 2 that define the legacy of this Spirit squad. And they nail this final map. Ladies and gentlemen, your champions of PGL Astana 2025.
It's Team Spirit!
Nice. That was a sick final. That was a lot of fun to watch. Reclximer, it's in the 70s, and okay, yeah, that's not bad. So here in Houston, if my AC went out, I swear to God, I think I'd just move. Yeah, that was a sick final. That was a lot of fun. And I'm gonna go put the rest of this in the fridge, and then I think we're gonna finish this series and it'll be the show. Look at my man.
In front of a crowd that adores
I'll be right
what
back.
they do. The second trophy this year for you, Chopper, and one you've been looking for. How good does it feel to do it in front of family, friends, and a crowd that loves you?
It's amazing, I guess.
Офигенно!
Shiro, for you, this will look like a hard battle to go through for the whole team. Games that were very back and forth. How good does it feel to sit here now with this trophy in your hands and the champions? Everyone expected this of you. Do you feel like there's some relief, less pressure?
Я очень счастлив выиграть этот турнир, потому что мы давно не выигрывали. Спасибо всем, кто нас поддерживает.
It's been a long time to make it in this grand finals, and thank you very much everyone who supports us.
Zontix, there was a bit of worrying I think people were having that maybe you guys were feeling the pressure on stage, you may be crumbling here against Astralis after losing Mirage and then how it went on train. What was it like for you guys in the server going through all of that?
Well, it was pretty good 2 maps from us. And then we just didn't connect on the server on the Mirage, and they were like, okay, we have nothing to lose. And they kind of played a good Counter-Strike, I think. And we just had a talk about how we should play if we want to win. We should only think about the game, inside the game, and not about, oh, we are close to winning or whatever. And yeah, this is the main thing that we fixed before coming into train, but even on train we had like, I don't know, 3-7 or something like that, the score, and we just managed to win.
You did manage to win in style in the end as well.
Да, первые 2 карты были довольно простыми. На 3-й карте мы просто не зашли на сервер. Ну и на 4-й мы просто начали играть полностью, сосредоточив свои мысли только на самом Counter-Strike, а не на том, что мы в гранд-финале и на всем остальном.
Magix, for you, I know you've got some family watching in the crowd. You've got a crowd that's supporting you as well. Anything you want to say to them after watching you lift the trophy here in Astana?
Спасибо.
I think Russian.
Thank you.
Doesn't need so much translation. Donk, there was times you got no emotion on your face when they cheer you like that. You don't like it?
I don't care, to be honest.
But you did have a dominant performance. Smile?
Yeah.
Thank you, Magix. They want to see you smile. You have an MVP level performance. You come back alive on train. But I got to ask you, I know you hate Anubis. What's your thoughts on train?
Same.
You want this map removed?
Trainer Anubis? No. Anubis, yes.
Train then? It's okay for you?
Yes. Need time.
Needs time.
Дон говорит, что ему не нравится так же Anubis, как и D-Train, но Anubis можно было бы в целом убрать из маппула.
No, you don't need to. That's fine, that's fine. Hallie, for you, you guys have had an up and down year, making playoffs, not getting close to the trophy. Only at the beginning of the year you were able to do that. For you, going into the major now, how important was this win from learning and just getting that taste of victory and lifting the trophy again?
Сначала я хочу сказать спасибо всем людям, которые пришли сюда посмотреть Counter-Strike.
I wanted to say thank you everyone who
Всем
came
тем
here.
людям, которые сидели у телевизора и поддерживали нас. Здесь невероятные люди, невероятная атмосфера, очень приятный стадион. Что касаемо наших дальнейших планов, то это был турнир очень важен для нас, потому что у нас было много полуфиналов, много финалов, где нам постоянно чего-то не хватало. И перед менеджером это даст, надеюсь, нам даст уверенность, и на этом заделе мы пойдем брать второй.
So it was a lot of upsets on previous grand finals and semi-finals, but with this win, we're gonna take another one. Major. I mean, we're gonna try to.
I like that. I like that confidence. For you guys, though, you won't be going to Dallas. For you won't be going to Dallas to prepare for the major. What's the plan for Team Spirit? What's Hallie going to be cooking up for you guys?
Ну поесть фастфуд, а потом тренироваться.
Eat some fast food and then train.
I like that. Get some food in your bellies. Make sure you're trained and ready for the major.
One second. I have Shiro.
Oh, okay. Go on, Shiro.
Ребят, всем спасибо, кто тут поддерживает. Было очень круто играть. Спасибо Казахстану за такое приятное гостеприимство. Я хочу сказать много кому спасибо. Тут моя девушка, Солнце, я тебя люблю. Спасибо тебе за твою поддержку.
Thank you for my girlfriend.
Спасибо всему стафу, кто приехал сюда. Спасибо нашему ЦЕО, который приехал сюда нас поддерживать. Медиа-отделу. Всем спасибо большое, потому что мы чувствовали, что этот турнир наш. Мы хотели его выиграть изначально. Мы очень сильно старались. И поэтому это для нас что-то большее, нежели победа на этом чемпионате. Поэтому спасибо большое. Надеюсь, мы порадовали вас своей красивой игрой. Если честно, без цензуры тут не сказать, я в ахуе от игры Дани. Сколько выиграл он раундов. И опять же, вся команда собралась. Мы чуть-чуть проебались на Мираже, но в массе своей все прошло так, как надо. Мы очень хотели выиграть, и мы выиграли. Надеюсь, мейджор будет таким же успешным, как этот турнир. Поэтому спасибо большое. Alga Team Spirit. Спасибо.
So it was a special tournament for us. We came here only for victory. We prepared specially. And thank you everyone who came here, all the crowd in Kazakhstan, also all my family, all my staff, team especially. And a lot of bad words come in there.
Okay.
You know, some about the Mirage map. It was F.
Oh, yeah,
up.
I get that.
Okay.
All right, well, with that, guys, one final time. Your PGL Astana 2025 champions. It's Team Spirit!
Yeah, well, look, I'll say this. Magic's was brief, at least. That's a good thing.
I was going to say,
listen,
them brothers were
it's been a
yapping.
long time since they have been in
Alright,
this
I'm going to hit the Pine
situation,
Park,
winning
and
a
then we're going to
trophy.
finish the season, and it'll be the show.
He said how
Let's go.
important it was that
Or not
here,
season,
while
fucking
Vitality
series.
weren't around, and
Same shit.
Mouse weren't around, and Falcons weren't around. This is when
brother
Spirit
Donk
have
doesn't
to
give
win.
a fuck.
Otherwise, people are going to start asking a lot more uncomfortable questions. In particular, that wonder kid there holding the trophy.
They held up their end of the bargain.
Yeah.
Other tournament likelies in Na'Vi absolutely didn't. So for Spirit to lock in, to focus up, to pull the comeback off on Train, wonderful calling from Chopper. Also, individuals just had to step up in that one, and they heard the call.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking at that map, it looked like Donk was a little bit quiet. It felt like it was Shiro pretty much trying to do everything on his own. But at the end, right there, Maui, when when it had to come down to the individual stepping up, when they had to come up clutch, they did kind of actually answer the call from Donk, in all honesty, which we didn't see in a couple of maps earlier.
It was just unfortunate because it seemed we were destined for a
He
fifth.
said, "Give me that
right?
shit
It would
back."
have been very interesting to see, but Spirit, like any championship level team, just managed to hang in there and chip away, right? Like, it was on a half bye that they got some life on their T side. It was looking pretty grim, but they were able to persevere. Incredible performance by everyone as Donk really turned it on very late into the game, right? Like, it was the Shiro sort of multi-kills on the CT side that got them those couple of rounds, and just being able to find impact and buy enough time for Donk as well to get online. And delivered the finishing blow.
And you can see they've totally turned the desk into team spirit. So don't worry, the praise will continue. I do want to...
Okay. That was sick.
This opportunity is once in a lifetime. Hope that you see the signs. The one I wanna spoil you.
It's the Rochester Red Wings and the Buffalo Bisons. First pitch coming your way next.
Surely I should pitch at least one game in this series.
Getting ready to hit. With runners at first and second and
am I
nobody out, the
DHing
defense
or am
will need
I?
to be sharp here.
Or am I in left today? This guy's name is Bastardo.
Swings through it. This could be a big moment in this game.
Let me stop talking shit.
Swings it toward the offense, but failing to capitalize gives a lot of momentum back to the pitcher. Runner edging away at second base.
Why are he edging, bro?
High in the air, out to left center.
Okay, there we go. I should have changed the stream title. Or the game.
And will move up to third. So after he moved up on the tag, we'll see if they can pay it off and bring him in to score. A lot of ways they can plate this run now. The left fielder now at the plate. Line drive, that's a base knock. Coming to the plate.
This is a nice little piece of
Comes
hit.
across to score.
Alright.
It's an RBI single, and they lead by 3. Tallies a run and earns the RBI. That's how you want to do it on a hard fastball. Put the front foot down, kept his hands tight to the body, and barreled it up for a knock. There goes the runner, and ball 4. 2 aboard. 4-pitch walk there. Good discipline by the batter, making him come into the strike zone. And here's the catcher, Andrew Kisner. Line to right for a base hit, and here comes the runner. Comes across to score. It's an RBI single. It's 4-zip. Nice job to drive in the run. That's such a disciplined swing, staying tall and getting the barrel to the high fastball. That might even have been above the zone, but still some good contact.
Is that going to get down? No, it's not.
2 away now. Runner at first.
Oh, I'm in left this game.
Next up, the designated hitter, Michael Stefanik. Swings and flares it, and that'll get down for a hit. Lead runner's around second.
The
throw
fuck?
to third. And he's out.
See ya.
The left fielder, the next to hit. 1 for 3.
Ball.
Nice
God damn
stop.
it.
Off balance
That
speed.
was a
There's
second
one.
too early.
And it's a double play to end the inning. 2 outs and runners at first and second. Devontae Brown digs in now. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fly ball down the line. The left fielder drifting towards this one. Can't quite get there. It's a foul ball. All set to start the 9th inning in this one. Leading off, the left fielder.
Holy shit, it's Amir Garrett. I'm going to start a fight with him. Like.
Off to a good start with the leadoff knock. Next to hit, Paul DeYoung. Now the payoff pitch. And ball 4. 2 aboard. Next up for the Red Wings, Andrew Kisner.
Hey, your turn. Drive him in.
0-2, and the delivery.
Damn.
Absolutely unloads on this one to left
Absolute
field.
shit on.
Forget it. A home run. Powers that one out to left. A 3-run home run. And they add on. It's 8-2. This game shows just why he's a key contributor.
Oh, that was it for the series. Okay, I did not pitch that series. Maybe let's play one more. Let's at least hit our upgrades and then play like the opening game of the next series so it saves. Actually, okay. It's only a 3-game series. Let's do it. And I pitch one of them. Let's bump our power a little bit if we have enough. I don't know what perk we got. Yeah. Start working on our power a little bit, I think. Should be DHing this game, I'm pretty sure.
The designated hitter, getting ready to hit. Doing a good job lately to avoid swings and misses. Currently owns a 7-game hitting streak.
Inside ball.
Number 27 MLB prospect. Well, I'm getting up there. Ooh, I don't even know if that's going to be deep enough. Fuck me.
Sizes this one.
He's not even going to go. God
And
damn
there's
it.
2 away.
Never mind, bro. We're shit.
2 away and a runner at first. The designated hitter digs in now. 2 hits in last night's game. Line to right for a base hit.
Could have been a gap, or I was a little late on it.
They stop the lead runner at second. Now 2 on with 2 outs. Coming up to the dish for Rochester, Paul DeYoung. And here's the 0-2. Sit down looking for the backwards K. And that ends the designated hitter, the next to hit. 1 for 2. Hard hit to right center. Should be extra bases.
There it is.
Won't get to this one in the alley. Coming around third. Comes in to score.
There it is.
We hear a lot about how the numbers turn against the pitcher the 3rd time through the order, and that might be what's happening here.
There it is,
Looking
baby.
at the manager, he may have a decision to make. Here's the 0-1 pitch. High fly ball to shallow right field. McAdoo.
McAdoo.
And there's 1 away.
That was a good throw, too.
Man at second, 1 away. Digging in for the Red Wings, Andrew Kisner. And the 1-1.
2 balls, 1
Rolls
strike.
away a little bit. Two-one pitch. And he grounds it to the right side. Base hit. Coming to the plate.
Take home off that.
Here's the throw. Comes across to score. They lead by 3, 5-2. 1 down. The designated hitter will hit next. Swing and a liner into right field.
A little late on
Brings
it.
it in for the out. Strong individual day and a team win, and you'll take that every time.
Alright, give me just a second, y'all. I'll be right back. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. But I appreciate y'all chilling for the morning stream. That was a lot of fun. The CS final was really dope. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. So appreciate y'all chilling. Like I said, y'all have a dope rest of y'all's day, and I will catch y'all back here whenever I stream next. I'm not really sure when that is. But